a fun tournament because it's like nobody has everything they need just like right off the bat. People are gonna be throwing these Frankenstein comps together, and and nobody even has like stage 2, stage 3 of all of these Illuvials yet either. So it's gonna be really, really fun and interesting to see what people bring as their decks. How do you think about that?
like
That's crazy,
even though
right?
we've seen, I saw Style caught an Ophisto yesterday, and he found, I believe, a Jotun. But there's no guarantee that he had the Joe Cool or the Ram, or someone has a Ram Fight and a Ram Fire. And so this whole setup is going to be really unique. And I expect a lot of T0s to play some sort of a role, because even though T0s are free, they're not that easy to get. The odds of you finding, let's say, 9 Grokkos is actually quite small. The odds of finding a Grokko is very high, but finding 9 Water Grokkos is a lot of work, and then you got to level them up and everything as well. And so even completing out your comps with these T0s is going to be quite the challenge. I'm just double checking that we're live right now, so you keep going.
Yeah, not just like the fact that you have to find 9 Grokkos. The biggest thing, like as you said, but a big thing is that the leveling, it takes so long. It is such a massive grind to get these not just the Grokkos to the stage 2, but to get the Grokkos to the stage 3. It's absolutely crazy how much XP you have to get for this and how long it takes. I think I was trying to get 3 stage 2 Grokkos to I think it's 41 to evolve them to the stage 3, and I took like 3 hours and only got them to 11, and it's only going to get exponentially harder the higher up the level goes. So yeah, I think it's doubtful that we see a lot of people with a lot of stage 3s, maybe even for a week or two. It's going to be really interesting to see what people bring, and I'm here for it. I think if anything, it's going to be more likely that if someone has the stage 3, it's that they caught it that way. It's very unlikely that we see anybody with a stage 3 that they actually leveled up. I genuinely think, like, for tier 0, you're better off not training them at all and catching each stage as is with how leveling is right now, because again, it's just such a massive grind to get them to all that XP to get them to the levels to where you can actually fuse them together and even get into the next stage. So it's I don't know if they're going to nerf the XP needed for certain levels when open beta comes out, but if it stays the way it is, hey, that is going to be a huge grind, and Arena might not have like meta decks, like full meta decks, for a while if this is the case. And unless we just have tons of people going out and catching stage 3 Illuvials, I don't see it anytime soon.
The other thing is, even though you can capture a Ramfire, like I believe at Quant's caught a Ramfire, you can't just go and capture your tier 5 Earth Sword. That thing takes a lot of grinding, so we're going to see a lot of low-level weapons as well, or people really synergizing those weapons well, as having to craft suits. We don't have augments anymore, which is pretty sweet, but the essences are required for everything, so there's still a lot of grinding to get all of those other components up. Thankfully, I don't think this is going to be like Leviathan, where all the stats matter yet, but that's going to be an exciting tournament in the future as well, where we host Leviathan-only tournaments, and maybe all of our tournaments are Leviathan-based, just to make it a little bit more exciting, or maybe every second one or something like that. I'm looking forward to it. So we're about to jump into our first game, but first let's really quickly go through what are the teams we have here today. Do you have a list of the teams' names and things like that, or are we half guessing here?
Oh, we're guessing. Like,
oh my gosh.
I know that I know that Caveman has some nasty Illuvials that he's playing around with. I'm pretty sure Mindia has some really good teams, but we're going in like pretty much blind. It's going to be a surprise, and I kind of prefer it that way. I don't know what to expect, because in previous Infernos, the cool thing about this one is we don't know what to expect. In the previous Infernos, we knew what everybody was going to play. We knew everybody was going to go for the standard meta deck. Maybe 1 or 2, possibly 3 decks we see do well, but I mean, and I could see in this tournament, I hate to say it, but I could just see one person steamroll everybody just because they have that perfect team, because they've gotten lucky with catching this or that Illuvial in the overworld. It's going to be crazy. And not to mention, this is like guilds versus guilds. So a lot of these players are from guilds and they're trading in between each other so that they can have these comps. So that camaraderie from the guilds is also going to be a really huge thing that'll be fun to see.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting because everything's on testnet now. Before, there wasn't even the possibility of sending your guildmates Illuvials. Obviously, you had everything for free, so it didn't matter too much. I do wonder if anyone's going to be using whatever Illuvials are in the free rotation as well. But it's definitely going to be exciting. In the future, it'll be a lot more open to everyone. But for this one, we wanted to keep it tight. We wanted to keep it clean just to make sure that it could be a little bit more exciting, because we figured if we did a tournament right now, everyone's running just like atlases and stuff like that. And you have the occasional person with a Ramfire and they're just going to steamroll. And this way we figured it'd be a little bit more casual, a bit more fun. They are playing for a $1,000 prize pool, thanks to Illuvium for sponsoring the tournament. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. So let's jump into our first game. I'm going to get Caveman to start his game. The first game we've got coming up is going to be Caveman up against Soda. Let's take a look at the bracket here. Which is not popping up. I set all this up. All right.
Oh, good. Bear with us here. Pull up the bracket.
I don't know why the bracket wouldn't be working. I don't know, man. All right.
Oh.
So, yeah, but the stream's not popping up either. That's a problem. That is most certainly a problem. We'll have to figure that out in a minute.
All right. Well, as you can see here, we got Zajac first off getting a bye on that first round. Not gonna have to play against anybody. Only had 15 players. We had a Mr. Dick King's community manager chickened out. He couldn't take the heat, so he got out of the kitchen. But first up, we have Mindia versus Apso. That'll be an interesting game. I know Mindia, as I said before, Mindia has been grinding Overworld. I'm pretty sure he has a decent team. Caveman and Soda, this is going to be a really good game because I know both of these guys have been really, really grinding. Both of these guys should have great teams. Lord Urano Crass. Not sure if Crass is signed in, but we'll see if we'll see how that goes. Arboost and Whitey. Arboost and Zajac were practicing they've been practicing so much, so we'll see if that pays off for them. I know Sandbirdie and Mr. Blaster. Sandbirdie also, I think, has been grinding out Overworld pretty well. Mr. Blaster, I'm not exactly sure, but I know that he's part of a guild that they were kind of trading around Illuvials, so maybe he has a really good put together team that we don't know about. Revoke, again, another great player from before when we had PB3 Arena. We were playing that all the time. So we'll see. Alif, actually, I'm not familiar with this player, so we'll have to wait and see how he performs and what he brings. And then we have, lastly, Alexandre and Roger. All right, it does look like Caveman is almost ready to go. And his stream is up as well. All right, and Caveman and Soda are starting their game. I'll see if I can't get a hold of... Yep, there we go.
Here we go.
Switched it over.
Let's do it.
Was I talking over top of you? I think I may have muted you.
Me?
Yeah, sorry about that.
I was busy trying to coordinate the stream. You're good.
Okay, cool. Man, Soda does have all three of those, the Ramfy, the Ramfight, and the Ramfire. How does Caveman respond to that? Because that is going to be huge. That is so good for him. Unlucky draw first round for Caveman, who also has a good team, but this will be a fun match.
Jeez, this is going to be interesting. I also forgot to mention that the arena just got a huge amount of buffs, debuffs, and other balancing changes. And I've barely delved into them myself, but they look insane. Like, for example, you start with 80 mastery points now. You go to, I think, 90 round 2 and 100 round 3. And then it ramps up quickly after that. So it should be really interesting.
Yeah, and who knows if these players have even looked at the updates, because I know for me, I've just been grinding Overworld because it's just been so much fun. And I bet a lot of these players are probably, and they may have looked at it real quick before the tournament started. I'm sure they did, but still, that's not enough time to like really let that sink in or have even really practiced it that much.
Also,
It's
you
just gonna
start
be
off
fun.
with an Ascension token now, which is brand new. Wow, I had
Oh,
never noticed
true.
that animation before. Jesus. I'm loving this. Loving this stream already.
This is so weird. Okay. Oh, he didn't get the 3 fire rogue.
Ramfi coming
he
out
wants to see
turn
that.
1. He did not bond for the 3 fire, you're right. I think that's going to have an impact. The Axon going hyper here is going to be impactful. Getting all of the resistance is particularly powerful against something like a Ramfi Omega. Yeah, that is not doing any damage. That Axon is going to clean up here. Chuko is pretty awesome. From memory, its ability is the blind one. Yes, he has the blind one. I've been getting mixed up between the Tree Kangaroo and Chuko.
Oh, this is actually going to be slightly close. Let's see. He's got
Oh,
the
the
shield.
shield coming up. The perfect time. If that shield explodes, they're gone.
Oh, dude,
Boom.
this is crazy.
The timer is going to take out Ramfi. You can see the impact of Hyper really taking hold here. The water comp going into the fire is going to be really impactful. I have no idea what guard drain is. I haven't seen any of these.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, that is definitely new. I have no idea what that does. Don't ask me.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this. This is going to be the best Inferno we've ever done, maybe, besides that 256.
Honestly, this is crazy.
Okay, so he's going to come in with the Tree Kangaroo. A rogue on the team is a little bit unusual. He does have a rotor in the back. He's going to grab in the Ramfi. He's not got 3 fire yet. 20 left. He's able to upgrade the Tree Kangaroo if he needs. Because I keep forgetting the name. Is it Tiru? But Tiru is really sweet because for anyone who's not familiar, Tiru will actually leave behind its Joey on place, and that Joey will be untargetable for the first 15 seconds of the game. So you can't actually target that thing really, and it will help out and do damage over time and actually siphon off something and give it to the adult. So it's going to be quite interesting. He's got 3 water, 3 bulwark. I don't think the 2 rogues are going to break through that on Soda's side of the field right now, but maybe Soda's got a really good augment coming up or something like that. Graviton Piercer is going to be really sweet. That would have been helpful for Soda if he got it. So let's see how this plays out.
Okay, interesting. That heal's gonna be good. Oh, if he can get it off before the sloth dies right before the heal goes off.
Just quickly,
Really doesn't have
Jimbo,
much of an impact.
Ricky's messaging you in admin chat.
Okay.
Look at that Axon go, making quick work of that Ramfi. Oh, that's a really big round 2, but the game is a lot slower now since the mastery points are a lot less. The Ascension tokens work a little bit differently. So you typically have at least 5 rounds to get your shit together to be able to play out the game and try and defeat your opponent. Don't forget to share this around on Twitter, by the way, guys. And don't forget to subscribe, like, for more. We're going to have more tournaments coming in the future. They're going to be fun. With Testnet Illuvials, the whole dynamic has shifted. Not everyone can play a Ramfire or a Familiar, if you know what I mean. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Illuvium tournaments just got a whole lot better.
Yeah, not a whole lot better and a whole lot more interesting. A lot of these players are just, again, they're Frankenstein comps, and they have little to no experience playing with these weird thrown together Illuvials. So they're just they're kind of winging it just as much as we are like watching it. It's beautiful to see, and this is really kind of giving us a first glimpse of what ranked in future tournaments might look like. Goes ahead and puts the flare and upgrades it to Singe, where the rogues are going to land.
I don't know if he has a Scoriox. That would be pretty hype. I don't know what that little -1 icon is above the Ascension tokens. I've always been wondering. But yeah.
That just means it's -1 Ascension token when you place it, right?
I think that's just like always there.
Weird.
It might be a bug for all I know. But yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think Caveman only has the Furiox because I know he was grinding for Furiox when I was last talking to him, and it looks like he pulled it out of nowhere. So
this is really interesting. So Soda opened up with the fire comp. It was countered by the water comp. But now he's also dropped some nature Illuvials to help counteract that water hyper going active too quickly. However, Caveman has some great fire in the back, and so he's still got a pretty solid hyper advantage overall. You can see all of his fire Illuvials going hyper early here, but they're being targeted by Soda. You might be muted, Grant?
Yep. And we have a surprise guest as well, which will be fun.
He should be on now. You should be able to hear him. Ooh, much closer round 3 today. So that's looking really interesting.
Yep, still won every single round for Caveman, but it looks like he's chipping away slowly at his health. Not these big, massive drops that we have been seeing.
If you speak third host, I can see if your voice and sound and everything's coming through okay. Try not to reveal it. I think he almost looks frozen.
Yo, okay. Now I can hear you.
You can hear us now. Welcome to the stream, Grant.
Yeah.
How have you been enjoying Private Beta 4?
Man, it's like, how far do you play before you realize everything's getting wiped? Like, I haven't hit that. I'm kind of like of the mindset of like, all right, I'll play up until I get that feeling. But at the same time, even if I do get that feeling now, do I wait and learn how to actually like game? Because it may, like, things may heavily change. If things didn't change, I'd keep playing. So I know on launch how to play it. Because I just did a stage 3 run and like nearly caught a forest, like nearly won a stage 3 round. Yeah, after like 10 times getting obliterated. So it's going good.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing that you were. It's like, do we spend all of this time grinding and learning the game just for certain aspects to change and be confusing? But I think there's still some nuggets of truth in there. And it looks like he updated his Ramfy to ram fight, but it's gonna get trapped on that bulwark links before it can use its Omega in a meaningful way, it looks like.
The moth is insane. That thing does damage over time, so you won't notice it straight away, but it will crush, and he's got double Inferno now as well. And I don't even think the range is up with Inferno yet. Oh no, I think the range is probably... I don't think Ram Fight's an Inferno. But like, that Inferno is doing some serious damage here.
Yeah, the burn damage looked crazy on that.
Is this the first tournament back after a while?
Yeah, so we haven't had we haven't done a tournament with all of the arena changes with things like Ascension tokens and all the rest of it.
Yep. Okay.
Do make sure to like the stream so we can push that through the algorithm, and we would really, really appreciate it. Make sure you share it on Twitter, and go ahead and subscribe to Scoriax. Dude works his ass off, and I love watching all of his videos, and you should too. Was that good?
That was great. What happened to all these Illuvials? What is going on?
Yeah, what is going on? Wait, he does have a Scoriax too. How did that happen?
He's stuck in like a weird Ascension limbo thing.
I did not think he had a Scoriax at all.
It looks like he does. Someone did say in the chat that he has a Scoriax. Everyone's saying W for Grant in the chat. Gonna be absolutely awesome. This might close out game 1 of the best of 3. Let's see how we go. He's switching a lot of his board off to the side. It seems to me like they don't have a whole lot of mastery to actually do full board swaps anymore. But that being said, we're only on round 5, and so it kind of starts kicking in afterwards. I would like to see that change a little bit. But I do like the changes to the Ascension tokens in this newest update for sure. What's up, DJ
At what
Slappin?
point do you guys do a tournament with only Overworld captured characters?
This is only Overworld captured characters.
Surely not.
Currently on testnet, you cannot actually play this game without testnet Illuvial. You can see the Moth is in there. The Moth wouldn't be on the other version.
No. What I mean is like by only using characters that players caught in the Overworld.
Rather than fuse them together.
Are you telling me that in this tournament, these characters that the players are putting out, they caught them?
Yep.
You're lying to me.
This is a guild-based tournament though, so they could have characters sent to them from other people, but they were all caught by someone.
Yeah.
Actually, what?
All of these have been caught at some point in the Overworld. This is the first ever tournament where that has been possible, and we have done it.
No. Where do I see the chat here on YouTube?
I'll send you a link.
But the characters do get normalized, right?
I believe they're normalized. I don't think these are with the random stats.
Okay.
I don't think Leviathan is live, but I could be wrong.
It's not Leviathan, please. Wow, actually. So they must have sent, because like no one has this many characters available.
I would think they had to have. That would be a crazy level of luck. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, impossible. I've been playing this game 8 hours a day, and I've got like 4 characters. So.
Well, I mean, some people have caught some crazy things. Style found an Ophisto and found a Jotun yesterday. And so things are happening. Things are being caught.
Wow.
But yeah, all these Illuvials are in someone's wallet.
What? Right. See, like I was under the understanding that you could filter character, like you could also just use all the characters, because I haven't built a team yet. I've just been playing Overworld. So I was under the impression that you could build a team however you wanted, but also on top of that filter by what you've collected. But maybe what I was seeing was you can see all the characters, but when you go and try and add them to your team, it doesn't work or something?
Well, there is a free rotation of Illuvials. I have no idea how that's factoring into this tournament or if people are using them, but there is a free rotation. I don't think it's that many though.
In the team builder?
In the team builder, there's also like a handful of free Illuvials that you can use, which switch up every week.
Okay.
I don't know which Illuvials those are right now. If someone wants to check for us.
Caveman just ran into a bug. He sold his Scoriox, and now he can't place the Fury back on the board.
Oh, I've done that before. That sucks. Rough. That sucks so bad. So rough. Oh, it's bad too because he's
16 players. Winner advances.
Yeah, so it's single elim.
Single elim. So a quick tournament. This shouldn't be like the 7-9 hour grinds you guys were doing.
No, it shouldn't take us more than 2 or 3 hours, but they are best of threes.
I'd go to sleep and then come back to score. I was just like drooling over the keyboard. The slurpy noises. Wow,
we did a 12-hour tournament before. Yeah. That was wild. Good times.
We're absolutely loving it. Welcome to the chat, Crypto Degen. I haven't seen you before. I notice the new people a lot sometimes. Juan said his whole guild has been grinded. It looks like Hype's in probably one of the better positions out of all the guilds here today. We've had only 2 DQs so far. It looks like Roger has DQ'd and Abso. They might have even been from the same guild. Revoke has taken 2-0 win against Elif. Yeah, looking good. It's looking good.
Just like old times. Wait, he placed it down again, so it looks like he needed to wait around, maybe?
That's interesting.
If that was a bug or if that's a new rule inside of the arena. That rogue augment on Scoriox is crazy, though. I love doing that. It feels like you always can place him in just the right spot or take your opponent off guard when you put like rogue on some kind of range carry. That's one of my favorite things to do. It just looks goofy and it's funny when it works.
I need to speak to Aaron about the spectator mode again, because for open beta, you'd think you need it.
Well, I believe they want to do the giant Team Liquid tournament for open beta type thing. And they know that they need the spectator mode to even have that tournament occur. So I believe it is on their radar. I don't know how prioritized it is, though.
Like in terms of arena, you'd think that right now would be like almost the #1 priority.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's also Gauntlet. So do you want to do Gauntlet first and then do a spectator mode for both? Or do you want to do the 1v1? Gauntlet being the 8-player mode.
I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. So
have you noticed he's given the rogue augment to Scoriox and sent him to the back of the map to try and avoid that moth bombing run? But it looks like Soda is going to take game 1. Let's see if I can get instant replay to work here. Anyway, we'd see Scoriox going with the rogue augment, going up to the back of the map. He does not have enough pressure on that front line tanks with the Arcalion and Null, though. He's going to clean them up okay, but not quite fast enough, and that Ramfire is just doing too much pressure here. Overall, it just seems like Soda had a little bit more power coming into the back end here.
Yeah, Caveman really just hammering him down at the beginning there, and Soda coming in with the late game. Caveman wasn't able to chip enough away at his health in the early game, and Soda was able to scale up and take him out there at the end.
I should have fixed it. Hold on. It should be coming back. There we go.
Mr. Von Neumann.
It's back now. It's back now. We're going straight into game 2. Here we go.
Oh, I love it. These guys are ready to go.
What? I'm still mind blown by how many.
This is a different team too, by the way. Like he just played a different team. Holy.
Oh, there's no Ramfire in this one.
So there's a lot of unknowns in this tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so many augments me and Jimbo don't even recognize yet because we haven't had a chance to play Arena because we don't have enough Illuvials to do so. And so we ourselves are in a little bit blind because it's not like the team was going to like DM us all of the new augments. They wanted it to be a surprise. So that's fun as well. But yeah, there's a lot of unknowns.
And all the Illuvials occupy the same space on the board now too.
Yeah. I don't know.
All the positioning.
I don't think people love that, but it has to be like that. It's not that they share the same positioning, but since you have the Ascension tokens and Ascending in the game, they have to share the same size as the Stage 3 so that it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you still got way more positioning ability than TFT, so...
A part of me kind of likes it, but they might upgrade it.
I think it makes sense because, like, I remember pitching that to Aaron like 2-3 years ago, and he said, "Dude, are you insane?" And I was like, "But like, you've got like, why copy TFT?" And then he was like, "It just caused a huge amount of pain for the team to try and figure out the pathing." So I do think it makes. And there was a lot of times characters were getting stuck and stuff in the corner of the board, which now that should be avoided.
To see, it does look now with the hyper changes from PB3, they do scale up their defenses as they're getting hyper. Well, their hyper bonus scales up as they're getting hyper. I'm not sure it'll be enough here, but we'll see if this acts. Maybe it is.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well that was the passive of T-Roo, right? So that makes sense. It's not as strong as a normal Illuvial.
Well, the Bulwark Hypers are just so good, especially on an, they're just so good. Like, you're getting, like, a 20-30% boost on your resistances, which are already good to begin with because you're a Bulwark. And so letting those things go hyper can be a little bit rough. You need to seriously push through with damage. You need a lot of frequent damage, so high attack speed Illuvials, or you need some high-frequency DPS with Omegas, things like a Dual F Beam, for example. But things like a Ramfire Omega is not going to penetrate a Hyper Bulwark. Do you imagine if Bulwark's Hyper got Grit and Resolve as well? That would be unkillable.
That would be disgusting.
I love how Grant's so jealous of everyone else's Illuvials. It's like, I want these. I want to.
Well, if you've played the game, you understand how crazy it is to see this many characters. Like, it's almost unbelievable.
I did.
Like, okay, cool.
They had
Fine.
to have had their guilds help them,
Yeah,
right?
sure,
Because this
sure.
would have taken
Like,
so many
but
hours to do.
Even still,
To be fair,
still.
I did a stage 3 mining run to record some footage for a video the other day. And I found a bunch of stage 3 lynxes and a bunch of stage 2 of some really rare alluvials and things like that. I found a bunch of really neat stuff. I did 2 stage 3 runs and only got lucky once. But at the same time, I can see that if you have a team that can handle stage 3 zones, you can actually build up your collection quite quickly. You're not catching a Ramfire every run, but you will build it up.
But it still would require teamwork. They would have had to like share alluvials to get those stage 3 runs happening. I've just tried to do a stage 3 run on like a weak stage 3, like went purely in to try and scan the weakest and still got absolutely smashed, but like kind of killed a few alluvials. So I'm close to being able to win some of them, but like the amount of characters they have, that's the only thing that makes sense. The thing that really amazes me is I was super concerned that the balance would just be absolutely wildly off and it would not feel like the ramp up from being able to not collect anything to getting everything would be too steep. But after playing it for like 3-4 days every day, it's kind of like you've got to actually grind it out to get to that point. You can't just, upgrade a few things and then bang, you're collecting Ramfires every 2 runs.
You also want to pick up a bunch of the consumables too. I find that the rare and above consumables have a huge impact. Even me personally on my Scoriox hunt stream, I've been building up a team of water alluvials, but they're mostly bulwarks. And I'm like, I don't have any DPS, but if I just shoot every dragon egg as I adventure, I can just equip them and do all the damage I need.
But before you know it, 3 hours have passed and you've only caught like 30 of those dragon eggs. Leviathan, when the tournaments come in for Leviathan, that's going to get kind of scary because you'll see the leveling up on the characters come through.
And the stats.
Like it's kind of still difficult to understand because I haven't gone and played Arena yet, the difference between like a level 1 and a level 11, 15.
I actually don't believe the levels have any impact in the game yet. They're only for evolution. It's a big point of feedback right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so they don't affect you in the actual auto battler.
No, your level 10 alluvial is not actually helping you at all in the overworld.
That hurts.
I don't think so, at least. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
But it will. It will eventually.
I hope so, but it's been a big point of feedback.
Yeah, because I was always under the impression that the auto battler element of the overworld was like Leviathan. Like essentially, that's why you were leveling up your characters for Leviathan.
Yeah. So this is really interesting. The Singe is getting really bullied here and actually stunned out. And that giant kangaroo looks so cool in game. I cannot get over it. Jimbo, what do you think?
Dude, I have not seen this character yet. I didn't know it got that big, but that looks so sick. That looks incredible, dude. Man, he's such a badass. Let's go.
Oh, that Ramfy's gonna go down here.
Yep.
Next game, we've actually got Mindia and Zajak playing, so I'm looking forward to streaming that game.
Caveman also has an Illuvitar. Does that have to be an Illuvitar on testnet then, right?
Yeah, people have bought a bunch of the testnet discs and started minting them.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's the funny one. I haven't done that yet.
I'm the only person here with a profile picture.
I haven't done that yet, but I saw a bunch of people in a chat once just like minting discs. It was pretty funny. But most are only claiming their 0.1 ETH from the DAO, and so they don't want to like spend it on discs. The big links is going to really help as that Singe is getting bullied, but you need Singe to be... Singe has really great damage output, but it's awkward because it's a bulwark, and so you want to mix the two together. He hasn't grabbed Magma on the board yet, so he's not going to claim that Grit and Resolve. Oh no, he has Magma from the Ranger, sorry.
Who is the favorite? in this battle? Caveman or Soda?
Soda has an insane end game. I don't know if Caveman's got what it takes to clean it up. He needed to have a really good early game, and we didn't see him go as hard into the waters this time around, making the hyper game a little bit harder on him. Plus, Soda thought through that and actually has, with his different team, he has Vermilion, which would actually destroy all of the water Illuvials when going hyper. The empaths get quite a bit of healing from hyper, and so that means that Vermilion would actually be gaining so much from its spore, it would be healing like monstrous amounts of damage.
So the question I have is the hyper the first time you're seeing the new hyper, or was that implemented in a prior beta?
The update we haven't had on the Inferno yet. The visuals we haven't had on the Inferno yet.
Right. So this hyper is brand new. The Ascendant tokens brand new.
Yeah, all of that.
That was in PB3, but the recent changes to those are in PB4.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, a lot of the major changes were in PB3, but we never actually streamed an Inferno with those changes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that is true.
So this is the first time for those hyper adjustments on Inferno. I still think the hyper range should be a lot smaller, but that's just me.
Why are their ranks not showing? Why is it showing them?
There's no one in the match.
Rank?
There's no one in the matchmaking right now, so no one can actually play ranked.
Right.
Because everyone's
Just
so
1v1.
Everyone's so new, and they don't have many Illuvials, so no one's going in and playing the ranked mode. Plus, there are no leaderboard. There are no leaderboard rewards, so there's no reason to do it yet. You'd rather collect all the Illuvials.
And people are just stoked on Overworld as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No one's thinking about Arena right now.
Still, though, kind of interesting for open beta release, what would happen in that first week period. Like, you got to obviously have people going straight in with guilds, because, like, within 2-3 hours, they're going to have caught a bunch of stuff, but kind of crazy.
The other interesting thing is you can't buy a lot of the Illuvials on the Illuvidex right now because it's all free ETH, and so everyone's selling them for like $1 million. But in open beta launch, it'd be a little bit different. Someone might just buy a full team on day one from 100 players that have collected them and then go into Arena if they want.
Are you planning on purchasing anything, or you're just going to try and grind it out all yourself?
For the content, I'll be grinding for the most part. But I might purchase some high stat Illuvials when I go for something specific, for sure.
Yep.
I'm definitely the complete opposite. Gonna go tier 3 runs if I can afford it, and break my keyboard if I don't catch the Dark Hollow Ramfire. I promise I'll punch a hole in my wall. I will
Sells the house. Sells
the house. Sell everything. Sell my dog, bro.
So Caveman's team is looking stronger and stronger. I don't know what this charm is. I think that's coming from the Fox, which charms the furthest enemy and drags them towards you. You can see the Scoriox had to walk right up to the Fox from that charm. But the team is doing damage on Caveman's side. We're loving this. Let's replay that one.
I'm going to try something. I'm behind a VPN, so it's really hard because the quality of the stream isn't that great.
I don't think it's going to get much better. This is just one of those things without spectator mode.
Both of you guys are also dealing with this?
Yeah, if you actually just watch Caveman stream instead of the stream that Scoriox is showing, you can see it better.
Okay, all right. I was just wondering, that might be because of the VPN.
You might get a bit better without the VPN, but it's just, it is coming a bit choppy from Caveman's side as well.
Okay, should be fine then.
On stream, it should actually be not too bad. On the actual stream, it's probably better than what you're seeing, but it's one of those things. The Umbra is coming out. What he really needs to do is position a little bit around that Fox. That Fox is going to cause some serious issues. I'm really excited to see combinations where you can use the Fox to drag things into pools of magma. I might have to add that to my team at some point. These new Illuvials, that's my favorite part. There's so many new Illuvials on the board right now.
It's crazy that I'm going into a tournament and seeing Illuvials I've just never even seen before. That's awesome. Like the Quink, the stage 3 of whatever that is, and then the Kangaroo, I've never even seen these being played before.
And the pandas, the pandas omega, the pandas omega is insanely busted. It is so good. When he'll use it and then he'll attack someone, it'll like blind everyone in the area for like 4 seconds. It's just like, and so that as a combination is fun as well because the Winx can drag the Scoriox closer and then the panda can blind it.
Oh my! For a fighter to have that is crazy.
It's bonkers. And then the tree kangaroo is it that siphons like health, like siphons resistances and gives it to allies outside of its Templar ability. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on and a lot to learn. And then there's more.
Is anyone from Polemos in the chat to like give info on how many characters they pulled together?
Let's see. They'll hear that in about 75 seconds, so we'll get an answer then.
Yeah, like 5 minutes. We see it flood in.
I know some of the other players watching these two, and Caveman pretty much has a full team too, right? And Soda has 2, and these other people who don't have full competitive teams are shaking in their boots. And we have a series on our hands.
Caveman is taking game 2, completely switching up his entire strategy, going a bit less water and a little bit more into the hard DPS to try and clean up Soda before Soda gets a chance to react. Soda not having Ramfire or Inferno in this team, it's probably had a bit of an impact as well. I feel like Inferno was doing quite a bit of work last time.
Shout out to Crystal, who doesn't want to wait 20 minutes for a shout out. So there you go. You can have that. Welcome, Crystal, to the chat, everybody. Make sure you say hi, Crystal. She gives me a K. This fucking guy.
All right. Out of all the 16 people competing, how many of those are just solo players? Because they're going to get destroyed if they haven't.
It is Guild Wars, so we have 8 guilds coming in, but a lot of them are a part of multiple guilds and stuff as well. So there's probably a lot of camaraderie coming through here. So
2 per guild?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is a part of what guild is a little bit confusing to us. We know Hype is here, and they've got who we just saw, Soda and Revoke. We've got R Boots and Zijak from Wildfire. And that's where I start to get a bit hazy.
We also have so Sandbirdie and Caveman from Polemos. We have Whitey and Apso from Illuvium, which is the Japanese guild. Lord Urano and Mr. Blaster are representing Phantom. Mindia and let me see.
Mindia
I had the wrong name.
Alif?
Yeah, Mindia and Alif are representing Ethlizards. And then Kieran and Rich were supposed to represent Illuvium Labs, but they realized they suck at the game and didn't want to get, made fun of. Because we all know they don't have anything to do right now. They're not busy at all. It's pathetic, but what can you do? Just kidding. Just kidding.
All right.
In case anyone was wondering, we are drinking the Ghost today. That is the drink of choice. So snap open your Ghost or whatever energy drink you have, and we are moving into the last game of this series.
All right, let's do it. Oh my god, we need a drink sponsorship, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I called it a year and a half ago that Jim Verino would be commentating on these tournaments. Not disappointed.
Oh, you already know. I already got the product placements going. So when we get that sweet ad money, they're going to be paying us double with how good I'm promoting their stuff.
Like, where's the Steppen call out? GameStop. Samsung.
Yeah, shout out Samsung. They know who the best in Web3 is. It's Illuvium, and that's it. So we all know who the big dog in Web3 gaming is. It's Illuvium, and second place is Illuvium. No competition. Can Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm still having trouble getting over all of the UI upgrades to the arena itself. When you ascend, you have that new animation. You have the rounds popping up on screen. The sorting and filters and things just a little bit better as well. Ascension tokens make a little bit more sense. It's just looking fantastic. It's cohesive. It's clean. It's doing really well. 3 water up against 3 rogue. I am loving Gorilla though. Gorilla is one of the best Illuvials in my opinion. He just does really well. Problem is he's a little bit of a solo. he doesn't necessarily help out the team that much, but he does great on his own.
He's a bit of a Sigma male, as they say. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of those mud comps with all the monkeys. Those are super fun to play. It's going to be interesting to see how the changes affect that comp specifically, just from my perspective. But looks like Caveman is going to take this one. The hyper on the water was just too much, you know? Going into 2 fire and 1 earth.
You know, I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't change the default skin for the battle board. You know, just to mix it up a little bit. But I mean, what can you do? I can't do anything about it now. So you
don't want them to be stuck with something that people don't like though either. If you change it and then half the people are like, I don't love this skin, it's not really my taste.
Sure.
Because it's going to be the taste of some people, but not everyone. But I would have liked the option to change between 2 maybe.
Yeah.
Could have been cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, just between the different region boards, you know what I mean? That would have been cool, but I personally don't really mind. I love skins, but I for right now, I'm not really worried about that. But when those skins come out, you know I'm getting them.
Oh yeah, the Doka Dojo.
There's quite a lot of stuff that we can't grind for in the overworld at the moment, skins-wise. Like you can't do suit skins, you can't do board skins, you can't do emotes.
So suit skins will
cosmetics like that.
Suit skins will mostly come from Illuvium 0. Board skins will actually come from Illuvium Beyond, as well as emotes.
Right.
For the most part.
What about the drone attacks?
The attacks? There's only 4 right now.
At the end of because there's going to be a whole bunch of those as well.
Oh, yeah, the blast thing. I think that's from Illuvium Beyond as well. I don't know how much of it is, though. But I know that like the Illuvium Beyond collection rewards are a lot of that stuff. For example, if you own 9 Dokas, you'll get the Doka battle board. That's a guess, by the way. I don't actually know if that's the condition, but it's something like that.
Yeah, just so everybody understands, when he says drone blast, there's these animations that go off after you win a round in the arena that your Mozart or whatever drone you have will shoot out at the other drone. It's just a cosmetic. It doesn't do anything except look cool.
It does look cool, though. Look at that Ramphy roaring at the end of the fight. Oh, crap. I did that thing again where I missed the... I missed the legendary round.
I never zoom in on arena, so sometimes I forget how well made these Illuvials are and how much detail and how beautiful they are. Just because I'm from TFT, so I just like look up at the board, but you zoom in and it is absolutely beautiful. You could tell there's so much love and care, and I'm not trying to glaze Gramp, you know, but like you can tell there's so much love and care put into each creature. That's one of my favorite things about Illuvium is they have character when you look at them and just beautiful. Nothing else in Web3 or really a lot of gaming comes close to the graphics in Illuvium. That's for me personally, I don't see how that's arguable.
After stepping away for a few months and just not looking at it, after looking at it literally 7 days a week for 3 years, I was really, even with the optimizations they made, which I knew were coming, you know, because like things looked even better, but they weren't running well, even on high-end systems. But now that it's been optimized and it's like just seeing it with fresh eyes, like getting that sci-fi Sea of Thieves vibe, I'm extremely happy with how it looks. Yeah, there's just enough detail to make things feel like intricate, but not too much where it's gone realistic and still just completely different from Pokemon. Yet I actually get that vibe of Pokemon in the overworld when I see characters.
Yeah, it really reminds me of some of these newer Pokemon games where you can actually see the Pokemon roaming around in the world, and it's funny like when you shoot the Illuvials and they just take off like one of those snails. They're so fast. It's like snails are not that fast,
Yeah,
bro. But like he is booking it. He is booking it.
Internally, we actually, when we were testing, there was a really funny bug once where sometimes the Illuvials don't move quickly. And in this particular person's case, it happened to a Caterpie. The Caterpie was moving extremely slow. And it was like, this is how it should be. This is good. This works. And it looked really funny.
That moth.
I got a
The
bug
bird,
where like the Axodon kept going really small and really massive and was just flying around the screen at like, 300-400 Ks an hour. And I couldn't shoot it. It's the first time like an Illuvial got away. I was like, it was like running around. It looked like an ant. Like it was smaller than a morphopod.
Did you say
Oh, yeah,
400
I've had
Ks
that
an
as
hour?
well.
Yeah, it was just like flying back and forth. Like I stopped it, and that's how I knew when I did my drone power on it. It like cubed it, and then I could see it going massive and small really quick.
By the way, Crystal says she just gave us a $5 donation and says she's buying Grant a Band-Aid for his sense of humor. Because she does that. So what do we think about this game? Do we think Caveman is going to take it home for Polemos? It's looking a little bit tight for him right now with, I believe, the Inferno team's coming back out from Soda, and it's causing some serious damage. Especially that Firiox is really in the firing line for both the Moth and probably the Ramfire that's going to come out soon.
I'm not sure. It's so crazy too, because when I first saw Soda's team, I was like, "There's no way Caveman can compete." But he's really navigating this well with the fire and the bulwarks. He's got the 2 Arcanine as well with the Firiox and his Ranger popping off, so he's got extra damage on that Firiox. It's still. I feel like this game is still anyone's game. It's just whoever outplays the other person.
Do you think the Ascension tokens complicate the game enough to balance out not having all of the having all of the augments?
I think
pre.
No, you go.
I actually think not having all of the augments makes it more complex in a good way, not in a way where it's not intuitive, but it makes it more technical and up to the player to react to which augments they get. I actually really like that change personally, regardless. And the Ascension, I don't think that complicates the game. I think there's a lot. Well, with the new mode, it's hard to tell, but.
What gets interesting is the decisions actually just happen at different points in time. So when you have all the augments, you need to decide on all of them for the team builder, which is a lot of options at one time.
Yeah, it's too much.
Whereas when you're in game, you're just going to choose 3 at a time, and you've got the time to do so. And so it's a part of the game now instead. As for the Ascension, it's a little bit similar. I think the Ascension's a little bit complicated for some, but since the Omegas don't change, it's not too bad. Like, if you had it where, like, Fiery had, like, an Omega Rit shoots a laser beam and then Scoriox was empowering attacks, then that would be really confusing. But since they all do the same thing, they're just more powerful, it still makes a lot of sense when you're ascending. And I think the way they've structured the game makes sense in that regard, if you know what I mean.
And both players can choose the same augment now.
So those 3 augments are different for each player. They're not the same.
Right. Okay.
At least that's what I think.
Okay.
Do we know if it's the same?
One of the biggest... I thought it was the same. Just, I don't know based off anything like internal knowledge, just based off seeing it.
I believe it's random for both players. There is still the legendary bidding phase, which is the same, and you bid on it all the same as before. But the other augment phases, they're different.
But surely that introduces a huge amount of RNG.
A decent amount. It comes down to making the augments not too OP.
Right. But if both players get access to the same ones,
that would be better.
Yeah, guys are here.
That would be less RNG, yeah. But the other side of this is that if you get a really bad run of augments, there isn't really a bad run of augments. It's more that you might get a lot of augments that benefit tanks, and you should have built your team around some tanks so you could take advantage of that. You know what I mean? And so it's a little bit more about building a balanced team so that the RNG affects you less, which is kind of like how most card games work in a greater sense of it, where you have a balanced deck so that no matter what you draw, you have a chance to win. Thanks so much for the donation, Heron.
I just know we advertised it as like no RNG, you know, it was fully deterministic. So introducing something like that seems a bit scary, but I guess you just got to test it.
Yeah. I mean,
I still think there's limited RNG. It's an RNG that adds to the game in a way that makes people better, and they have to react to what they get instead of it just being like, oh, here's RNG, you win. That's just how I feel.
You do need to think about, I like to think about it in percentages as well. For example, there were 2 augments that they just completely reworked because people hated them. There was the Indomitable augment, and there was one other one. Anyways, in my experience, those augments are pretty much insta wins, which is really hard RNG. It's like if that comes up, you can have a really good time. But now it's more like you only really get 5 augments before the game ends, and you've got like 8 Illuvials on the board, so 16 slots. And so you're getting a 10, 15, 20% boost overall to your team, depending on how the augments came up. And so they don't impact it as much as they could. And I think that's a bit more of a controlled RNG. You know what I mean?
But I do definitely think it's way better, because when I was watching your guys' tournaments, it's just everyone knew what the best augments were. And the bidding process was basically just like, there was no need for it, because you would either just cancel each other out, or it would be clearly obvious that 1 or 2 of them worked for the other player. So there's just no real point. Like the amount of times I saw a number of bidding rounds just result in nothing was crazy.
Ricky Tan just joined my YouTube membership program, which I set up like 2 years ago and haven't really touched. I think he's my first ever member. He wanted the emojis. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I put a bunch of my thumbnail faces as the emojis. You guys should have a look on YouTube stream. It's actually pretty funny. Oh, this game is coming to a close. It looks like Soda's team with the Inferno is just doing too much damage, and he's going to take game 3 here.
Yeah, it just looked exactly like game 1. Caveman got outscaled at the end there. Took the first few rounds and then got outscaled. The Rampfire just does too much damage. I'm surprised Soda even switched out into the team during the second game. If I was him, I would have kept that in my back pocket, because I knew I could beat him with this team and not shown it for the rest of the stream to see. But hey, what can you do?
I love the tagline under the Leviathan, only true players win, is still there. It's from the first. What does that mean? Only true players win.
I want to know who came up with that. That sounds like something Karen would say, and he thinks he's really cool coming up with that. Really cool and fancy. Thanks, Jimbrino, for donating $10. This Jimbrino, guys, is so attractive, sexy, professional, and all-around amazing guy to look up to. Donate if you agree. I couldn't agree more, Jimbrino. Thank you for the $10. I know Skoriax really needs it, so we're going to go ahead and give that over to him. And thank you for donating once again. Crystal said, if I delete my super chat, do I get a refund? I think you can do that. It's really annoying for the creators to deal with as well.
I have no idea. That's such a good question. I would suspect you don't, but...
Whose credit card did you steal to do that? Hey, I'm a big boy. I have my own money. But it was my mom's card. Gosh, this chat is amazing. All right, who do we got here?
It's a super chat train coming through.
I want an emoji. I am gonna get one. Agreed. Everybody, make sure you donate. If you don't, it just You know, this will really elevate your status in the Illuvium community if you just give all of your money to Scoriox. Make sure you take out a loan. Do what you got to do, but this is really important. This is networking. Just kidding, by the way. You don't have to donate. This is obviously a joke, just in case.
Who's up next?
Mindia and Zajak are playing, which is Wildfire versus, did you say Ethlizards?
Yep, Mendia is, for this tournament, he is representing Ethlizards.
Like, I want to see just how developed the team is.
Yeah, I feel like that was
Versus
really rare. I think that
Yeah,
might have
that-
been final if they were on opposite sides of the bracket, but who knows?
So Soda,
that was-
Quants was the one that caught the Ramfire. So that might be the only Ramfire in existence. I'm not sure. I know a Ram fight's kicking around. But the Hype Guild is so large with so many players that have put in so many hours that I expect them to have some of the most stacked teams in this tournament today. So it's gonna end up that way. Playing around that's gonna be interesting because with Hyper, I really do believe you get enough Earth and Water Illuvials, you can take them down. The problem is I've found that Earth is the most rare for high tier Earth Illuvials is the most rare synergy in the game right now. So you can play a Ramfire, and I don't think Titanor exists yet. So you've got a serious advantage with Ramfire in general, which is fascinating. But I hope whoever caught I think Style caught the Ophisto. I hope he sent it to someone. I'd love to see Ophisto make a run here.
That would be
I've got the
awesome.
Scarabok, and that was at the time I caught it, the 25th one. But I haven't seen like a Titanor at all in any Stage 3 run.
Someone put not financial advice in the chat. You're on a 75-second delay, so I don't get it, but I'm going to guess it's something I said. We do have, again, Mendia and Zajak coming up here in just 1 second. Mendia also has an Illuvium profile picture on testnet, really flexing that fake ETH that he has. Impressive. Loser. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Dude, I tried to transfer myself some, and it just didn't go through. Like, it says it's in the testnet wallet, but it doesn't show in game. So I had to beg TSG, reach out to him for the first time in a couple of months. He's like, "You only ever speak to me when you want something."
That's so funny. Hey, I don't blame you. That TSG guy. What's good, guys? It is the Inferno.
All right, let's see.
Yeah,
God, I
looks
can't wait for spectator mode. Seriously.
It's going to
Yeah,
be
it's
a
gonna be
big
nice.
improvement.
Just like
to
just
Inferno.
a 4K high quality stream for everyone, being able to like zoom in on the characters as you talk about them.
Well, it won't be
play
4K on my
replays.
Wi-Fi.
Australia. Just
Maybe
gotta
on
get out
mine.
there. Come to Dubai, man. There's only like 2 cyclones every week at the moment.
Oh yeah,
And the government wants to make them.
you're dealing with the floods.
Yeah.
You okay?
Dude, so get this. I saw a viral Instagram video go live where it's showing some apartment and this like group of chairs gets ripped up and starts swirling like the cows in Twister.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the building next to me.
Really?
Yeah, literally
Wow.
the building next to me. Like, and then you go like the next morning, I go look at the apartments, their balconies, and it's just stripped clean. Like that was like filled with stuff. Like, because not many people live here, right? Like
Mhm.
it's kind of a bit barren. Like you get people buying places here, but they don't actually live here. So like they wouldn't have been there to take the furniture off the balcony. And there was just like sunbeds floating out in the ocean and stuff. It was crazy. Like the beach got literally eroded into like, it was like, I don't know, meter deep waterways etched into the beach. Like just everything was getting ripped up.
Yeah, there are
Crazy,
crazy videos on Twitter that I was seeing,
crazy.
and I was like, "This is Dubai in the middle of the desert." And then I learned about how like they do the seating or whatever. That was interesting as well. By the way, people have been saying the CIA has been doing that for years. Told you so. But we're not gonna
But
get
where?
into that on this stream. But
Why is out of all the conspiracy theories, like, where does that come from? Like,
I don't know. I just think it's funny to
come
bring
on,
up.
come on.
I mean, it's possible, obviously. So
I mean, how you have to put enough energy in, I guess, to get the energy out. Like, maybe if they were just like launching hundreds of thousands of planes into the air. Because when they do cloud seeding here, it like sprinkles for like, I don't know, 2 minutes.
sometimes.
Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we should be back soon.
What's happening?
Oh, just some game crash. Caused a little bit of issues. Almost there.
One of the things I was really surprised about in the maybe the elo system was not balanced correctly, but no one ever got past that platinum phase. Just everyone was just like perma stuck at that ranking level. No one got to like hollow, dark hollow. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
think
mean?
that-
Like,
Mhm. I just think that has to do with the top. There wasn't enough top players. Like there was people in silver, but like at the top,
Yep.
there was
Yep.
just and they play people in silver and they lose like 50 LP, so
yeah.
it balances out that way. Is that a mirror behind Grant or a person? I believe that is a mirror.
It's glass. It's a fish tank.
Aaron and Grant both have a fish tank now. Mindia can't get his custom match code to load up.
He has an interesting team too. We'll give him a few more minutes.
Other players playing, or you're streaming every game?
No,
No,
other
we're
players are playing.
streaming. Yeah, we're streaming one game per round.
But you've just pre-planned which characters or which players stream to you.
Correct.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, it looks like nobody else is having problems right now. We already have people in semifinals. This would be quarters, so. But bear with us. We'll get through it. At least this game, the one that's being delayed, is the one that we're showing on stream, so we won't have to wait to get into the semifinals. So there's a silver lining there. It's not a big deal. How can I use my deck in Arena? You can go to the Arena chat in the official Illuvium Discord, and there is a pinned comment. You can see it in the top right. It looks like a little tag. You can click on that. And Rich Illuvium posted posted a link that leads you to the team builder for the PB4. So if you're having trouble setting up any teams in the team builder, that's where you go for PB4. If you go to the regular team builder, that's going to take you to the team builder for PB3.
I just had a thought. It's going to be super interesting now, the lack of mirror matches. Like even next week, what is the likelihood of getting like a pure mirror match, unless they've literally collected all? I mean, how many? Only the top players are going to have collected enough to do it.
We might not even see them. We might not even see them until like the closed private beta is over. Like, because again, like guilds can trade it in between each other, but still it takes so long to find that Ramfire or to level up 3 ram fights, if you can even find them, into a Ramfire. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see tons of we'll probably see some mirror matches, but there'll still be mismatched decks, I'm sure.
There's got to be a system implemented for open beta that allows you to like rent out the character for a period of time, because imagine if someone just rugged like an entire set of characters for a tournament, disappeared, and then sold them for like 20k. Brutal.
Yeah.
You know you're thinking it, Jimbo. You know you're thinking it.
Yeah, I was thinking about joining those hype boys. You know, they had
just
all those
rug them.
players. Yeah, maybe make an alt, and then I can just get away with it. You know what I mean?
Far out. Prison rules.
Win Grant versus Kieran in a cage fight. Let's see. Crystal got her message redacted. I'm sure it was something really good. Lord Farquaad in the chat says, honestly didn't think this game would be any good. Well done, man. You are up there with the top in Web3 gaming. I don't work here. I just talk about the game, but thank you. I'll let them know. Losing. Let's see. Why not both? Wait, is the game open world or an auto battler? So there's 3 games in the Illuvium ecosystem. There's Illuvium 0, which is land, which produces fuel that allows you to create shards, which are like Pokeballs, or travel in the different regions, or make skins and some other things. So that land game produces fuel for the Overworld, which is the open world game where you go and catch the Illuvials, with shards, and then the end of that, I guess you could explain it like a river. The end of that river will be Illuvium 0, feeds into Overworld, gives it fuel so you can capture Illuvials, and then Overworld feeds into Arena so those Arena players can get their Illuvials from people in the Overworld. How does leveling work now? I don't think there's any other way except you just play. You can level in ranked, right? Yeah, you can level up your Illuvials in the ranked, like Ascendant Arena, or you could just go into the Overworld, put the Illuvials that you want to level on the board, and they will gain XP if you win.
And you can increase the XP with the consumables.
Yep, there are consumables you can use.
It's such a balance because like you're trying to get a good character. I'm not at the point yet where I'm like not wanting to catch something if I go into one of those. Because I guess like until the ranking system, now that you're telling me the ranking system doesn't even work, why would you even waste those consumables or even harvest those plants?
Well, actually, some of the things in like the stage 3, I feel like you have to have some plants to even win because they can have up to 12 Illuvials, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is to not have. I don't know what plant gives you that XP bonus.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
I'm not
just wasting your energy on those at the moment. No bots yet, yeah. I haven't heard any talk of bots. Right, they're in.
Yeah, they are in. So we'll go ahead and get right into the game.
Amazing.
Very nice.
I didn't see the team, but
thankfully,
it definitely doesn't.
It's at least the first round, thankfully. So, oh, okay. So Mindia has the 2 rogues. Zajak is playing the 3 fighters, the 3 tier 0 fighters. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. The fact that he didn't get the Ramfire right before it got its Omega off. Let's see. I don't think it's gonna be enough. This is gonna be close though.
Nah. Can't do it. So close.
It seemed like the nature Doka was healing for some reason.
No Illuvatar for Zajak. Devastating.
The vast majority of people don't know you can actually mint Illuvatars on the testnet right now. Even I didn't know until recently.
Right, I'm an idiot. I keep thinking it's just
all
connected to the previous.
Nah, this is separate.
They have to do it all over again, right?
I'm gonna go and just like buy a bunch of random discs and mint them. I don't even know how that's possible because the wave should have ended, but I think people are buying them off the secondary or something. I don't know. I don't know how people are doing it.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Looks like Whitey and Sandbirdy are currently 1-1 playing it out. Soda and Lord Urano are playing right now, and Zajak and Mindy are playing now as well. And it looks like Alexandreg, which is from I don't know what, has actually beaten Revoke and has gone into the semi-final. Revoke is also from Hype, so probably has quite a bit of Illuvials like Soda, and so it's interesting to see him get knocked out in the quarters here. So it should be an interesting final couple matches as well.
Yeah, it would have been fun to watch that and see which team comp Revoke was running, but now that we see Alexandra 29 1, I want to see his team. I want to see what he's cooking.
Oh, the Rhoda. Honestly, Rhoda does insane amounts of damage. I know they nerfed it for this recent patch, but goddamn. Look at this thing. Gonna kill the... Oh, almost took out the Rampy. You love to see it.
Get 6 fire on round 2.
Crystal using a paid message to shout out to S-Judd. Is there an esports manager in Illuvium yet? I believe they were looking to hire one at one point, but then decided that it's not the time yet. So the de facto esports manager would be TSG at this time.
Am I just going crazy, or I saw the same augment bidding system?
Yeah, they still have it. So there's on round 1, 2, on all the rounds except for round 3 and 6, they have just 3 augments you can choose from. But on round 3 and 6, you still choose the legendary augments the same as before.
Okay. Right. Thought I was going crazy there for a second.
No, they still have it in there. Like you said, I think it's cool to have both people bid on the same thing. They have all been reworked a little bit though, and all augments are free now, so the legendary augments are all free as well.
Gotcha. Cleans up the deck so much more too.
A lot easier to manage.
Yeah.
You can see only 2 10 cost weapons in the deck. The weapons are a really big grind here. If anyone's got the big gauntlet, it's going to have a big impact on the way you play out the game here.
Am I crazy, or does if you have Inferno, it doesn't count towards fire in the previous build, or was that a change and I just forgot? Because he has 7 fire in his...
It does count. Why wouldn't it count?
Okay. I don't think it didn't count before, did it? In PB2?
Oh, in PB2 it did not. No, they changed it when they added all the Ascension tokens and everything, where your dominant affinity now also gets added to the list. On that note, you'll notice that fire actually has a 9 slot up there, where you can get a full 9 fire in your team.
Wow.
Good luck with that.
Wow.
And so it's actually all been shifted down a little bit. So the old 7 bonus, let's say it's 100% bonus, is now the 9 bonus, and the 7 might be like 70 or 80% now, as an example. Where the 9 is very similar to the 7 from before.
I like that.
And everything's been dropped. The 3 is even weaker now than it was before and stuff like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think a common theme that we're going to see is a lot of these players bringing in tier 0s depending on what their opponent is going to play, and they're going to play those affinities so that they can counter with the hyper system. I would not be surprised to see a lot of people, because Zajac has that, and Mindia also has all of the fighters, all of the bulwarks, the tier 0s. So that is not very surprising. That was a pretty common strategy back when we were doing the PV2 tournaments as well.
But all of the tier 0s were nerfed quite heavily.
Yeah.
But
if you need that affinity bonus, sometimes you just throw it in there.
Yeah.
They're still fine, but where they're a little bit weird now is that you can't, playing the higher stage tier 0s is very difficult. Because you want to get them in for the bonuses, and then you want to use your Ascension tokens on your Ramfire. You don't want to use it on an Exalted Grocko. Exalted Grocko is a lot better than Lesser Grocko, but it's not better than a Ramfire, for example.
So where does it come into play?
I don't think it usually would, unless it's
Just
like
lower
this
level.
tournament where you don't have everything that you need. You have to fill it up in with
Just
something.
lower level. Lower level. You would assume, I mean, that was always the plan, that
But you don't...
the tier 0s work for a lower tier, lower level player, but as you go up, you kind of phase them out.
But you don't have Ascension tokens and things in the Overworld, so you'll still use it there when fighting Illuvials. They're a great addition to your team.
Sure.
True.
It looks like Mindia is doing...
I was going to say, just high level tournaments and stuff like this, like where does the balance of all, like, I guess tier 0s are purely just for that, like you said, they wouldn't be used at a higher stage.
Yeah, I think tier 0's place is generally just to fill in that spot so you can get the affinity or class bonus. That's how I would usually play them. And then later into the rounds, a lot of people will even switch out the tier 0s into something that is like the same affinity and class but is more expensive, or needed Ascension tokens and you don't have anything else to spend it on. That's pretty common as well.
And in all honesty, they have some of the best utility Omegas in the game. For example, Volante is the only Illuvial that can actually silence an enemy. Flish has one of the highest damage Omegas in the game before enemies get Grit and Resolve. Grocko's got a great all-round stun and some other abilities. And so they have some really great things going for them. Doka is one of the only Illuvials that can actually disarm an opponent, the Earth Doka in particular. And then, what's the last one? Atipo. Atipo has one of the better heals in the game. They actually just changed it so every Atipo now heals allies.
Gotcha.
Really? Interesting.
Now, I don't think I've seen
Shields
many
allies. I don't know.
Lynxes being used.
They're good, but you got to find them in the Overworld. When you think about it, that's not easy.
Not only that, it's weird using the Ascension tokens on them because, first off, the first stage doesn't have an affinity or class, and the second stage only has a class, so it's harder to fit into a team generally.
Zajac coming really close on that round. You can see that the Blazer Knight's putting in absolute work. He's got the Wildfire in. He's only got 2 Wildfire. I haven't seen a Crunk come out yet, but let's see if he brings it out soon.
Let's see if he's even got the Crunk.
He also has Templar. This is going to be a really good late game board. Templar is a fantastic synergy, and there are now 2 Templar Illuvials in the game.
There are about a little over 100 people watching on X. If you could go ahead and share the stream and like it, that'll help push it in the algorithm. We can push out Illuvium to more people. Appreciate you guys. And YouTube as well. Make sure to go ahead and like, subscribe to Scoriox. Make sure you donate. That is an obligation. And go ahead and share the YouTube stream around on different socials. Mr. Dick Kings has entered the chat. Welcome, Dick. Nice Grant announcing with the face of Illuvium and my favorite YouTuber, Scoriox. I got you, Scoriox.
Yeah, you got me, bloody rich.
Can you pull it back here?
He's got the 9 fire bonus too. That's gonna
hurt. He actually did it.
This is gonna be interesting. That's like some serious damage. You can see that the lack of Illuvials impacting both players here. There's a lot of T0s on the board.
Yeah, that's one of those one of these situations, these niche situations where the links actually make sense. You know what I mean? Because he has to get to that 9 fire bonus. So putting in that links actually makes sense in this specific scenario where he doesn't have everything that he needs, but it's still doing a ton of work.
I think there are only 9 fire Illuvials.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
What happens to an ascended character if you take it off the board?
You get 1 token
you lose
back.
Those tokens? Only 1. So once you commit, you kind of...
Sorry, a stage 1 Illuvial will give you nothing. A stage 2 will give you 1 token back. So you'll always lose 1.
Okay, even a stage 3.
A stage 3 will only give you 1 back. So, and you needed
Yeah,
two
so
to
like
get
if
there.
you commit, if you commit to a Ramfire and then try and pivot, it wasn't like before.
Yeah.
Like now you've got to build your team up a little bit slower.
Oh, big comeback
Ooh,
starting for
wow.
Zajak.
Wow.
And this is the danger with going like all in on this affinity or all in on this class. I
Yep.
feel like sometimes that's really good in the early game, but I feel like
Yep.
generally those kind of fall off late into the game. And also Crystal wanted to say, she put a super chat in here saying, Kieran asked me how much I've played, and she then complained that we did not read that message out loud.
But how much did you play, Crystal?
Dude, she didn't even get in, I bet.
The power play here is to just not respond to any of the super chats and just start raking in cash.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so keep donating and we will not read it out on stream. Thank you guys. Appreciate the support.
It makes sense when you think about it.
True.
You got
Yeah.
It's the opposite world with Crystal.
I probably made more money today than on my day job.
Mindia did he is switching it up now, pretty much taking out all of the Illuvials off the board except for 3 of his fire Illuvials and put in a few 2 T0 fighters. I think he's gonna lose this round, but this is a build-up round, if that makes sense. He's just trying to pivot into that other team comp and take damage this round so that he can win the next one.
I like how it takes a little while to claw back now. Before, you could pretty much like, if you made a really big comeback, you could essentially just win in one round and knock out their entire health bar. With the changes to the augments, it's a lot harder to do that.
Yep.
He pivoted from 9 fire into 9 fighter. This guy is playing aggressive as fuck.
He's got 2 berserker too. He's got the berserkers sitting at the back a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Riptorus is at the front, but Monkey is at the back.
I'm impressed how quickly they've managed to like put these team comps together. Considering they would have had to have played the Overworld too. It's only been a few days and they've already got comps just maxing out.
Oh, big damage from Zajak here. That Blazonite Templar is just going to be boosting those resistances so quickly. He's also got a Furiox on the board, which is a fantastic fighter to add to the team. I don't know how Mindy is going to bring this one back. This is going to be tricky.
Style correcting me in the chat does say that some of the types of lynxes are one of the best DPS Illuvials in the game.
The stoic lynx, if it hits enough things with its omega, it can out damage every other Illuvial on your team very easily. I haven't used a whole lot of the other lynxes, to be fair. The arcane lynxes are pretty strong, but I haven't used a lot of the relentless lynx. I don't know how good they are.
We don't watch Jimbo for accurate information. We watch for energy drink reviews. You're damn right. And we have the Ghost Orange Cream energy drink, and it is tasting great. Let me know what energy drinks you guys are drinking in the chat. And X, I'll be looking on X as well. So let me know on X which energy drinks you guys are sipping on. Who is Steven?
Steven?
Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. I thought that was like Grant's first name or something. I'm like,
get your Tinder app off.
That'd be so funny if I made a video where I made a Tinder profile that was just everything I know about Gimberino.
6'2", full head of hair, 6% body fat, 220 pounds. Get all that in there.
Yeah, that sums it up. And I find like a really bad photo too. Although they don't exist, do they?
Wait, what did you say?
It doesn't matter. This match is going really well. That Blazonite is killing it. Oh, the fighters, although they do good damage, they're just going down too fast. They're just too frail. Although the slight upgrades on these Illuvials, the Ascensions, are going to give him one more chance at redemption. He's come back a little bit again. It's all over the place, this match. He's not going to pick up the Siphon Matrix. 20% reduced healing and energy efficiency. Oh, that's not that good. Gain energy augment as well, but his big damage dealers don't even use energy. Or not really, at least. I really do think it's a positioning difference here. I think if the Riptorus was further back, if we had the Monkey a little bit better and the Lynx maybe a little bit further back, and just you're sacking all of your weaker Illuvials first. The other thing is setting up that blind in the right spot. Currently that blind is not helping a whole lot of Illuvials. You need to try and bunch them up as much as you can. I think if he stacked his entire board to the left, it might actually have a pretty big impact. Your power play, Crystal, is intentionally succumb to your power play. I don't know what that means, but thanks for the super chat.
She means to just start sending $100 chats all night.
Yeah.
Until we never speak to her again. Which would technically be the biggest win. You know, I'd hand it to her at that point.
Let's keep chat on topic a little bit.
She's asking for it. You got to buy it.
I hear you. I love Crystal. Oh, look at that.
Gifted 5 memberships. I don't even know what that means, but I really appreciate it. Oh my god, other people can grab the membership? I didn't even know that was possible. Thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it.
By the way, Thrilltake makes really good content on X. He posts a bunch of stuff about Illuviors, which is really fun. So make sure you follow him as well. He also has a YouTube channel that you can subscribe.
I love how those people just like snagged it up quickly.
Wait, how do you get it?
I don't know. I don't know if something popped up or... don't know. I'm assuming there's like a button you could click or something.
Has he got it?
Oh, he's coming back. With this Blazonite Omega is going to be huge.
Ooh, the Blazonite.
The Blazonite Omega going to clean it up.
Ooh. Wow. Zajac. This guy is killing it. I told you guys he was practicing. He's been practicing all day, and he takes it home against Mindia. Mindia is a great player. Zajac puffing out his chest a little bit, letting us know who he is. Wildfire on top, right, Scoriox?
Absolutely. But you know what's really funny is he absolutely had to go for a Wildfire team comp. And he doesn't even have... You can tell he doesn't even have Blotto in the team right now.
Doesn't need it. He's built different, as they say. All right, and we are now moving into this is the semifinals, right?
No, we're going to game 2 of this match, man.
Oh, I'm lost. Sorry. I am in the sauce for sure.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Oh my gosh.
This elephant flavored energy drinks is doing a number on you.
Yeah, no. By the way, this is... Wait, we have me up on the screen, right?
Yeah, you're up.
That's more important than the gameplay. Again, just Ghost energy drink. This is the orange cream one. Probably going to give me cancer one day, but I mean, Ricky Tan also shouted it out. He said it was a great drink. I could not agree more. I think you are brilliant and intelligent for that. Again, nobody told me what their favorite energy drink was. A little disappointed in the chat. Let's get it going. Ricky Tan just dropped Thrilltech's Twitter in the chat, so make sure you guys go and follow him.
Energy drinks aren't one of those things where you can just start like mixing it up and just trying them from all the different countries around the world. Like the stomach is not designed to handle that much raw acid.
Yeah,
like, I've tried a couple of times and just ended up just getting like massive indigestion.
I always feel terrible after drinking them, but it's, I mean,
Still do it.
you gotta do
Read-
what you gotta do. It gives legendary energy, epic focus, 0 sugars, and there's no artificial colors. Can you believe that? This is insane. Just please sponsor us.
Read the last 3 ingredients in that thing.
Let's see.
The last 3, not the first 3.
Last 3: methyl cobala. Methyl cobalamin, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, and
Holy shit.
Panax nodoginseng root. Nodoginseng root extract. I know that one. That one's good for you.
Okay.
So this is
that
basically
last
a
one
healthy
does
drink.
sound like that last one does sound kind of like some synthesized amphetamine derivative.
Right.
It's just
Only
your
10
pupils.
Beautiful.
That's good.
They're gonna sponsor the cast. You're damn right they are. And we are getting into the next game, sponsored and brought to you by Illuvium Labs.
Says team. No links. Only the stage 1.
You
That
guys
is
kill me.
interesting.
My energy drink of choice is still actually Red Bull. But
Yeah, I've got one here.
I've gotten these ones
Those are
before
nasty, bro.
called
What?
they're called
Yeah, what-
Rays. It's like a Z. I don't know if you guys get them over there, but I quite enjoy them too.
I've heard of it.
They don't give me
They're
like
nasty, but like
Mushroom coffee. Don't even know what that is.
Oh my
you,
god!
you say Red Bull is nasty while sipping on an orange cream, weird Chinese knockoff brand energy drink.
This just slapping my taste buds around. What do you mean? It's great. This is a 10 and it's healthy. Not financial advice,
Yeah.
by the way.
It's not health
That's
advice
random.
either.
No, that too. Those are
Oh
like
my
crack. I
God.
go with the warhead flavored ones. I've never tried that. It sounds like it would taste bad, but I'll try it out just for you, Agar Macchierioso.
He's opening with the triple doga. He's got some sort of shield augment that I don't know what it does. Oh, we're gonna have to find a list. We'll have to update Illuvium Master and I can go through it. The 3 dokas not doing enough damage. I don't know what they were attacking, but they took way too long in my opinion.
Just waiting for the ghost orange cream augment in the game.
Yeah. In my opinion, I don't know if anyone agrees. Let me know in chat. Rhoda has one of the best damage deals of any tier 1 alluvial. Just the AoE, the damage, it just does so much work. With the new 80 cost opener, I think you can only really do 3 tier 0s for a full synergy, besides if you bond and weapon and stuff like that. You can't actually get to a 5 proc synergy though anymore. Used to be able to. 4 dokas and a ranger sword, and you can get to, or a ranger bond, and you can get to full 5 fighter. But you cannot do that anymore.
So, wait, so it only goes up to 3 no matter what?
No, I'm just saying you've only got 80 mastery points, so you can't actually pull it off anymore.
Oh, okay. I see.
Hmm. But you need 100 mastery points for 4 T0s.
Yeah.
Not a drastic change, but it does impact a lot of other things. For example, the 3 water bulwarks were cost 90, I believe, or cost 85. And so you can't do that anymore either. It was the 230s and the 25, which is 85. He's got the full fighter happening now. I believe he's got 5 fighters on the board. And he's got 2 Templar up really early with the Ranger Bond, which you'd love to see. And the Fern is on the board, so he's going to be pulling off the last Templar probably next round. And so we might be seeing a Wildfire versus Wildfire, but I'm not entirely sure what Zajac has brought to this one.
Mindia plays so aggressive. He like went for 9 fire the first time, and then 9 fighter. Here he's on round 2 and already in 5 fighter. Really, I love the way Mindia plays, even though he lost the last game in that round.
You want it to win, but then the kind of reality sets in where there's just like, it's kind of similar to how like I was playing with Zilbrad in those first betas where we're trying to like stack and make meme teams together, and you just want it to win so badly, but then you come up against someone who just plays the most basic balanced team and you just get destroyed by it.
Yeah, it's really hard to make those kind of decks work.
Yeah. But going into this, no one really knew what to expect, so
I still can't believe that first game that they had that many Illuvials.
yeah. Truly
I feel bad for anybody who plays against them.
Well, it made me think that nothing had changed and you could just use any Illuvial, so like seeing a Ramfire straight away, what?
Crazy.
And this happened same round last time, yeah? Mindia won the first round. Zajak lost the next 4 and then or 3 and then came back.
Let me see. It looks like Mindia, the last game he won the first 2 rounds and then it went downhill. But he's playing it a lot differently than he did the last game, but I'm not sure it'll matter.
India is full frozen up by the looks of it.
Yeah. God, just like painful not having spectator mode.
Yes.
Yeah, while we figure out what's going on over there, we will... Phil is probably the top stage. Phil is probably the top stage 1 DPS, yeah. Love me some Phil. But yeah, once we get the spectator mode, these things will be so seamless. It's just... Shout out to Scoriox, dude. He works his butt off to get these... To get the quality as good as it is. It's not possible to come even close to this without all the things that Scoriox does, all the extra things. So he really deserves all the love and all the donations that need to start coming back in.
The donations need a return.
All right, we're back into the game here.
Seriously though, like I don't know how you've had the willpower to like push through it.
Push through what? Sorry.
Just to like, I've just seen like, because I've watched like maybe like 6 of these tournaments, you know, for hours. So just seeing you have to deal with this stuff.
I have an entire team behind me. I could not do it without Wildfire. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
Just imagine the day there is the spectator mode. Just you'll be looking back on this like,
oh my god,
gosh.
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
Why?
Imagine what I can do with the spectator mode. Jesus.
Far out. I was really hoping for it. I was really, really hoping for it.
We are definitely going to look back on these days and think, wow, it's crazy how far we've come. I can't wait for that.
Yes, I am very eager for spectator mode. Let's put it that way.
Just to be able to replay, like I don't know what type of features are going to be there when it does launch, but like if you look at any other esport, you're going to need to be able to like focus and all the characters they have, see their stats, be able to bring that up on like its own. Like in a year's time, it's going to be crazy to see how far it's come, even from the first spectator mode. Because I just think there's so much potential to like reveal the, like it's hard if you're just jumping in, it's hard to understand what's actually happening on the board. But with just a few things to break it down, it would just make the game way, way more absorbable.
Huge tornado, but these fighters are just so good. He's got really good wildfire comp happening for Mindia here. And the big Lynx is just going to avoid that tornado though. The wildfire damage taking off. Another big tornado.
Oh no.
No way.
Oh, that was so close. That was so much closer than I thought it would be.
Watch that again.
What, did it come down to like 4 HP?
It was definitely an auto attack worth of health on both characters. And it looks like he's got it safe here. This looks like a safe win, but that Blaze Knight is just tearing through all of them.
Crazy.
Insane. You'd love to see it though. Absolutely.
Pop the top off, Jimbo. We need viewers. No.
Who said that?
Who do you think?
Crystal?
No, that doesn't sound like Crystal, but no, this was S-Chub this time.
Okay.
Shout out to Jimbo as well.
X,
and Grant.
X says it's on 700. Oh, X. Never change.
Appreciate everybody reposting the stream as well. Thank you guys.
We really appreciate it, guys. We really do.
We'd appreciate it more. No, I'm gonna stop with the donation jokes. That's getting old.
Leverage the cleavage.
The leaks too.
I don't use leverage. Sorry, I'm a safe trader.
So Mindia looks like he's in a better position this time than he was with the 9 fire last time. Do you think he's gonna be able to bring this one home for the 1-1?
I don't know. That Blaze Knight just looks so strong there. If he beefs up his front line, if Zajac beefs up the front line, I'm not sure that Mindia is going to be able to break through it. His blind did go off from the Komodo, so we'll see if that helps Mindia any. Because last time it wasn't able to go off. They killed him before it did. So
Grant just like disappeared. I don't know why.
It's all good. Okay, yeah. So that blind was pretty critical. Looks like Mindia was able to hold on and made it a lot less close. Without...
Why did it all shuffle?
Imagine if you could zoom in on that fight. You definitely can. Yeah, it's great seeing Grant. Oh, I love Grant. My favorite Warwick brother.
You can't be saying that.
They all know. It's fine.
Oh.
I can be bot though, just in case.
You are my favorite Warwick brother. Yeah, Jimbo Warwick.
Thank you.
The fifth, the honorary. I've seen that joke before. The honorary fifth Warwick brother.
And there was Andrew was the fourth one, I think. Or Andrew was one of them as well. Or at least Crystal liked to think so. Yeah.
We're sitting on some weird affinities here. I guess this is just what happens when you have to I can't speak. Whatever. When you just have to throw decks together. You know? You can't really get in everything you want.
Yeah. I'm loving the Rifters here. He's now dragging the Tornado. He should take this if Zajac doesn't switch up the board. Well, let's see if Zajac sees it coming. Because if that Blotto takes all the tornadoes, he's gonna have a really tough time. He doesn't even have any proper tanks. It's mostly quite aggressive Illuvials on Wildfire Zajac's team as well.
Yeah, that stun's really big because you want to stop the DPS from those fighters from going off as much as possible. So any CC you can get down, and then you can chip away at their health. That's always really big into fighting teams, or melees in general as well.
Ooh, no board swap, but he's doing a decent amount of work against that Blotto. And all the Illuvials wrapped around, so they're still going to take the tornado. Oh no, tornado went back left.
Unlucky pathing.
Oh, I think it's attacking so fast. I think Zajac got some really good augments or something.
This may be that late game spike where Zajac just starts running away with all the rounds.
It's probably the first round he had 5 fighter and maybe with 3 Templar or something. I don't know, but something's changed and it's doing damage.
Where is he getting the shield buff from?
Is that Templar? Let me see. It is not. I'm not sure, actually. That must be an augment.
Pretty huge.
Yeah, it's a big shield.
What were the updates since the last I saw on the shield? Because I remember it was like the healing team, you couldn't like affect the shield. You couldn't dig. There wasn't an augment that would dig through and reduce shield. Has that been fixed?
There's still no augment that does it. Shields on the Atipos got nerfed quite a bit a while back. But the biggest issue was Vermilia's Revenant, which did see quite a big nerf. Basically, the shield was cut in half, and the duration for it cut down a little bit, 20%. So it did get quite a big nerf.
Good. I hated that team comp. It made me rage so much. The shields were bigger than their health bars, bro. I could not stand that comp.
A big thing they've done is since a bunch of the Illuvials got added in to clean up the synergies, they actually nerfed those synergies. So, for example, I think it's Tiru that's the Revenant. And so now that they have 2 Revenants in the game instead of just the 1, they nerfed the power of Revenant overall because achieving 3 Revenant is a lot easier now than it was before.
Right.
You had to get a legendary augment to achieve it before, and so they made it quite a powerful synergy.
He's getting
and so
obliterated.
They've done a lot of that across the board. Inferno got an extra Illuvial, so they nerfed Inferno as well, for example. And I think Shock got a big nerf as well, because the Red Panda and Tiru is Shock now.
I don't think Mindia has what it takes. It's just slipping away.
Yeah, I believe he may have just gotten outscaled again.
The thing is, I don't know where it got outscaled. I just can't figure it out.
Just trying to pivot.
I think upgrading the Lynx has probably made a big difference. He's put a Ramphie on the board. That Ramphie could take out Blazing Eye to be effective, but the Templar's good. He does have a Berserker.
That's a Blotto, yeah? Not a Crunk.
It doesn't look like he has a Crunk.
2.
Yeah.
He literally doesn't even have it.
No, look, Zajac doesn't have a Crunk at all on the board. But I believe Mindia was playing a Crunk. I don't know if Mindia has a Blotto.
Sorry, Blotto.
I'm not sure if you had a stage 2 or 3. I thought it was a stage 3. Right now it's a stage 2 though.
I can't tell. The quality's too low. I can't.
Yeah, it's the stage 2 right now. It's not big enough.
It's stage 2, but I can't see if he has stage 3 in his deck to upgrade to.
I don't remember seeing it.
I don't think he does. No.
Yeah, so like there you go. Like, would that be the difference?
It would help.
Yeah,
it's a lot tankier.
Glad to have you, boyo. Thanks for showing up.
Leviathan's just going to be such a crazy concept, week to week. Just seeing how, because like someone somewhere is going to have to level those characters up. Like every week, every single character in that person's deck is going to change quite a lot in terms of how much they're leveled. You know, like figuring out which characters to invest the time in to grinding up.
Well, you continually be getting better stats too. You might get your very first Ramfire and it's kind of crap, and then eventually you find a better Ramfire.
Yep.
Ooh, Mindia with a comeback.
Ooh. Let's run that back. I want to see what the difference was. So he's gone hard on the fire again. Got Bulwarks, got some Predator on the team. I think the Predator is doing the damage. Yeah, his rogues have definitely cleaned up Blazer Knight early, and when that Blazer Knight goes down, Zajac doesn't stand a chance.
It's so close. I can't believe it.
I'm surprised the pivot worked there because you know, you don't get the Ascension tokens back, right? So effectively, the board becomes a lot weaker.
I thought it was over.
Yeah. Close.
Kind of sucks not being able to hear it as well. Like you just don't get that immersive.
Yeah, that's one of the issues we have with the streaming stuff. Sometimes we get it to work okay, but for the most part, we have a lot of issues. And so spectator mode will be big for that.
Yep.
What I'm most looking forward to in terms of a spectator mode is different camera things you can do. For example, I would love the ability to put the camera in the place of the ranger, and so you are the ranger in the battle, or make it follow an alluvial around the board. For example, a Rhoda. That would be super cool.
There was a lot of discussion around it, but it's just one of those things. It's just a low priority until the game's good. You know, until you know that the game's sticky and good. What's the point of replaying it? But it will come, like I said, in a year's time. That's all been planned out. So the esports element of the replay system, that was being worked on when I left. So like we actually, for the trailer we did, that preview trailer for Arena, that was like one of the first periods where the devs had a lot of time to invest in that, and we made a lot of progress with it. I don't know what's happened since then, but there was a lot of like fundamental problems solved in making that trailer. You know, like things that we just never really questioned how to actually implement them.
Mindia is going to take game 2. We have a series on our hands.
Wow.
Yeah, that pivot was really good. Love to see that. Again, I thought that was going to make his board a lot weaker for at least a round, but I didn't think he had the health for an extra round. But then he goes ahead and just wins both rounds in a row.
Yeah, the rogues going onto Blazer Knight was just too much. I'm surprised the Zajac didn't pivot Blazer Knight onto the other side. But it's just one of those things.
Maybe he was just trying to play those mind games where it was like, that's just a situation where it's rock, paper, scissors, right? You move the Blaze Knight over, that whole board changes. And yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you lose the mind games.
Oh, absolutely.
And, Bernard Wraith in chat says, people say it's boring, but lots of people like boring games. It's less that it's boring. It's more just it's just a thinking game. Some people like auto battlers. Some people don't. It's like and I think that's the problem with a lot of people in Web3 right now. It seems like a lot of those people come from like FPS backgrounds. So they're like, oh, Illuvium sucks. Well, it's like, no, it's just, you just don't like that genre.
Yeah, it really is like
that. Doesn't mean it sucks.
This format definitely does make it like 10 times harder to absorb though. Like it's very difficult to, when you don't have sound and the stream quality's low and there's nothing you can do about it. It kind of, you got to be pretty hardcore to understand what's going on. But as soon as that's fixed, I think a lot of people, like at the bare minimum, the TFT audience and the auto battler communities will get behind it.
even collector communities. I mean, there's a really big competitive VGC format for Pokemon, and it's one of those things where you really need to understand the competitive VGC to be able to enjoy watching those streams, because there's a lot of really big nuances in the back end of the Pokemon games. And I expect this to be similar. I expect people who enjoy the Illuvium game to just enjoy watching it, not necessarily the TFT audience. But at the same time, it's visually one of the better games to watch. I don't think there's another esports I can think of besides maybe Rocket League. Looks super fun to watch. That just looks fantastic when you're watching it, and the spectator mode will help with that.
Okay, hold on. League of Legends looks fantastic.
I can't understand what's going on half the time. The screen, like, when they get
That's
into a team
you're
fight,
silver.
it's good. It's really good, but it's a lot, and it's not like you're not talking like 4K graphics on Illuvium, right? I mean, on League of Legends, right?
Yeah, that's fair. For sure.
But there's a reason League's done so well, and there's no denying that. At the same time, Dota's done really well as well for the same reason.
Very true.
All
very
right,
true.
let's run it.
Okay.
Okay, so Jack coming in with the same team.
If you could put yourself in like a cryogenic chamber, Jimberino, and just teleport to a year from now, would you do it? If you could just do it for a day.
And then come back?
You get to come back, but you lose a year of your life.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, you can choose to come back or not, but either way, you lose a year of your life.
A year from... No, if I could go back in time and lose a year of my life, I would do that, because then I could just like put like 1,000 times leverage on something. But going into the future, because like, what if we're all dead? You know what I mean? Then I just die when I go into a future.
Well, you're not. I'm saying, like,
God.
you're invincible. You're immortal, aren't you?
That's a good point. I forgot about that. You are right.
Yeah.
If we could teleport to the
that's good.
future, yeah, I would have done that. It'd be like, teleport 1 year from now and I have 100k subs and loving it.
Yeah, no. Like, if I could teleport into the future, 1 year in the future, and it's as good as I think it would be, yeah, I probably would take a year off my life, to be honest.
Bitcoin's like $6. Everything's changed. Godzilla. You know?
No, don't even joke about that. That's wild. I don't want to hear that. You're manifesting my bags going to zero.
Come on. Read token chat for a few hours. You'll get on board.
Oh God, I'll lose all of my life rather than read token chat.
How's he going?
Token chat's fun. Lots of Grant in there. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Such an up and down roller coaster. Like when you zoom out over the last 3.5 years, just truly, it's like diving into the psychosis of a crazed person.
I always laugh when people talk about me as like an OG of Illuvium. It's like, sure, I've been here a long time, but there are definitely a large amount of the community members that are here way before me. Like, I wasn't even around for the balancer sale. I'm a latecomer to Illuvium. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I feel. A lot of people say that about me, and I was here even way well after you. But then again, I guess like 2 years from now, no one's gonna think that way. We're gonna be like boomers.
Yeah, I already am. I turned 27 in a few days.
I'm already 27. Don't get me started.
3 years off 30. I plan on retiring by 30 and not hitting my goal.
God, I'm old. Seriously though, like I used to be so good at Call of Duty, just like playing in clan matches, like, you know, top 100 in Australia. Aaron used to come in watching me like no scope 360 jump out of the window And now I jump in Illuvium and I'm like setting sensitivity on like 0.01, like a grandfather, like rotating towards it.
Yeah, even I've noticed my my FPS skills are slowing down. It's quite interesting.
My crippled wrist shaking every time. I mean,
so Lord Farquaad open beta comes out in Q2 2024. Yeah, at least that's what the roadmap says at this point in time. So very, very soon, the full release of the game. No one really knows when they're going to state that. I suspect once they've got all the bugs out and you've got things like alluvial combat and stuff running around in the world, that'll be a big point in time for announcing the full launch of Illuvium. But it'll be on mainnet in Q2.
No. Release. So wait. So actual release date of the game to public is in a year. No. That's at end of Q2, possibly first week of Q3. We're just saying, like, in a year, it would be interesting to see where life is.
yes, like with all the quality of life improvements.
Exactly. Yep.
Because like I've said in the Discord, my biggest issue is I'm a perfectionist, and you've got to know when you run out of time, and that was kind of difficult for me. Whereas Aaron has the mindset of just make it boxes, make it janky. So development will be a lot faster now, and I think the groundwork is there where it doesn't really matter artistically with the game anymore. Like, people just want features. No one's sitting there claiming to want more art.
Yeah, I've been saying that to a lot of people. People say, like, "Oh, it took them so long to get to this point," but they don't realize, like, the asset library that they have now. There's just things in place that are going to exponentially speed up the process of
Yes.
updating the game. It's not the same as it was even a year ago.
I mean, I should have adopted that mindset 6 months to 12 months earlier, but I mean, we got there eventually. Like,
Yeah, what can you do?
no one was ever saying that the development process was perfect, you know, like no one. So, but I am glad. Like, it did feel good jumping into the game and seeing even janky stuff. Like, I didn't care that the Illuvials are like hopping over stuff because it didn't matter. Like, if it was me, I would have said, like, no, we need to have the inverse kinematics with the characters like climbing over stuff, and it just would take too long, and it wouldn't have changed the gameplay experience anyway. Like, so in a year's time, with that mindset, things will be a lot further developed. Even if they don't look super polished, like, the features will be there.
Yeah, people need to realize it's an open beta release, not the finished
Yes.
game release. There's going to be so many changes once the open beta comes out. Also, I'd like to point out that Mindia has won every single round this game, and this is the same two decks that they've been playing before. So it seems like Mindia's probably figured Zajac out.
Well, we haven't seen the Blazer Knight come up yet, so completely different
Maybe it
strategy
is a
here.
different game.
It looks like he's also got heavy Scions on the board. I don't know how that's going to go against fighters, but you never know. He's doing the strat where you drag them all to the center with the Grocco, and then the Scions just blast them.
And your slapping might even deal damage. Mind blown. Well, I remember a time when he was dealing way too much damage, so it was just part of the balance.
He wasn't even doing damage, it was just frost.
Okay.
I wish, Ricky.
They did buff him for this, and he's still not doing quite enough, but it's a lot better. Ooh, he is pivoted back to the Blazer Knight. Not quite enough on that round, but it could come in handy.
This is quarterfinals, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah.
Where are the other matches at?
I'm
Every
waiting for
single
the
matches in semis, except for this one. because
Yeah,
we
so-
had that delay, so we'll be able to get straight into semis after this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep, Mindia going with the 5 nature here. 5 nature, 6 fighter. He has a pure attack damage onto his Riptorus.
What's actually quite fascinating is something I just thought of now. Is you know how everyone was having issues where they're trying to do the rock, paper, scissors against their opponent's deck and things like that?
Sure.
Well,
Yep.
now you can look on chain at your opponent's wallet. And you can go, this is the Illuvials he have. This is the Illuvials I should use in my deck because I know his deck's probably going to lose this.
Right. Do you think that's going to mean people start having like unknown decks that they have to transfer to last minute?
I don't think it's going to be that crazy once
basket?
you have like a full collection. It won't really matter.
Yeah.
But in these early
Yeah.
tournaments, it might dictate
Yeah.
kind of how you go into individual matches, at least a little bit. For those that want to go really hard, let's just say.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I think that makes it more competitive because both players have that advantage, right?
Well, not necessarily if you've kept your deck hidden very well, but everyone's name should be on Illuvium somewhere linked to a wallet, I would suspect. So,
Exactly. So like if you know you're about to play against someone, you can look at their decks and it'll be the same. And by the way, it looks like Zajax coming back. He
Oh,
was playing
crazy.
Protect the President
Big
with that
win.
Blaze Knight.
Big win.
but now let's see if Minia can pivot around with the rogues and things and finish up the game. Because if he can do a strong enough pivot to win one clean round, he will win. And Zajark is now playing from behind.
He doesn't know what augment to play. Neither do I. I can't read the text.
Hoarded attack deals 5% of max health. Yeah. I'm not sure that's even really
It's
that
fine.
good, but I guess that's the best option he had.
He's going for it.
Could
The
he
rogues
get-
are coming in.
Here we go.
They're in the center right now. He has the daggers.
Having a bit of trouble putting it on, but
I
We'll
think
get there.
I think he kept misclicking it. I don't even think that was a bug.
he was definitely misclicking. He was like a pixel off.
So he's got 5 rogues now. Not quite getting the 6 synergy. The bull's going to come out for just slowing down the enemy a little bit more. Dropping these rogues in the middle is really going to make them go straight for their Fiery Ox. And maybe split a little bit, but if he swaps sides, I don't think it's going to matter. This is a rough pivot. So Jark really needs like to put a bulwark at the back right corner, and the back middle to be able to stop this, or just any alluvial really.
He doesn't have many tanks in this comp either, does he?
No, he's like pretty hard fighter.
Does the new hex size around the smaller characters make it harder to clump in at the back?
Yeah,
Now,
you can
more
leave openings now. Yeah,
rogues can make it in.
it will happen if you have stage 1s in there. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But if you tried to say put like a stage 3 rogue, it wouldn't be able to make it in the back.
No, I mean a
Like,
stage.
It's hard to see.
I mean, if your Blazer Knight was a Fern, things could jump behind it. But if it's a Blazer Knight, not necessarily.
Yeah, gotcha. That's interesting.
The Blazer Knight hasn't gone down yet. Templar working its magic.
But it's
Oh, the
close.
Ramphy. It's not going to be
Ooh.
game over.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
That was a close round.
Wow. It's
Oh.
neck and neck.
Down to
Yeah,
the
we might
wire
have
now.
a mind game round where
Wow.
it's who moves over, and can you guess who is gonna move over?
He did place the links at the back, which pretty much saved him that round. If he didn't do that, I'm pretty sure he would have flat lost. So, He's got it in mind this time. He's taken revenge for last round.
What round is this? It's like 7?
You don't include the augments. Yeah, we're on 7.
Round 7.
Not forgetting that every future round adds a new augment to your team, which, if you get the right one, can make a surprising difference.
How crazy is it that these mismatched teams are still producing series that are this close? That's fun.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting when you said everyone had Overworld characters that it would be kind of like just massive mismatches. I'm also surprised how massive that stage 3 Grocko is.
That's a fat boy.
And so big.
Pause.
Oh my god. The Graviton Piercer is huge. I definitely would have put it on the dash. I don't know why I put it on that thing, but Graviton Piercer is one of the best augments. 30% physical and energy resistance piercing, which is important because that counteracts Templar quite heavily. Still surprised he didn't put it on the dash, since the dash is doing so much damage to low health enemies, but that's just me. Problem is, even if Zajac swaps the board, he's going to need to do that like over and over, and you're going to get a little bit of a coin flippy type thing happening, I think. He does have the low health augment on that it's going to ramp up Ramthi's damage when it gets below 30% health. Oh, Ramthi, I think, is attacking the Blazer Knight. Blazer Knight's gonna go down early.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, the big Grocko too.
It is.
That is game. Such a close series. An absolute pleasure to watch.
Yeah, great game. Zajac doing really, he's never performed this well in an Illuvium Inferno, so great job to him. Played against Mindia, one of the best arena players in my opinion, so great, put up a great fight, almost even took the series, so shout out to Zajac.
All right, let me coordinate the next one.
Not a problem. Yeah, so how do you feel about it? Isn't it cool seeing like different decks each time, people just throwing stuff together, trying to make it work, and people like Zajac, Mindia, changing, Mindia switching out all of his fighters, moving into Rogue. There's just so much going on.
Especially because they're doing this live. They haven't practiced it.
Exactly.
I think Zej had quite a few bugs happen where he couldn't move Illuvials and things like that. Looking back, I think we did notice that a little bit, which is really rough, but part of the game's condition right now, and I do hope they fix a lot of these bugs soon, but it's just one of those things that we have to deal with.
Unlucky. That explains it. I was wondering why he wasn't moving everything around, but that's how it goes. Now we have up next, looking at the bracket, it looks like Sam Birdie is up 1-0 against Alexandre 29. And we're going into a game, since Mindia did win 2-1 against Sedge, we are going into a game where it is going to be Soda versus Mindia, which is going to be another pretty hype matchup, no pun intended.
If you want to talk about some of the other games too, we've got the bracket up.
Yep, we have, again, as I said, Sam Birdie and Alexandre 1-0. I don't think I've ever watched Alexander play, but Sam Birdie has won an Illuvium Inferno in the past, so really good player there. But again, I have no idea what he brought with him into this tournament. What do you think about the meta so far? It doesn't seem like there is one. It's just, again, people trying to get what they can, and then you know, Soda with his Ramfire is just destroying people. It's beautiful to see, to be honest. I love seeing all these mismatched teams and people really trying to use their brain so that they can react to different situations. It's nice going from just a bunch of mirror matches to what we're seeing here.
Who have we got next?
I think we're going to be watching Soda versus Mindia, but we're going to watch from Soda's perspective this time, which will be fun.
Yep, I'll have Mindia's stream set up for us on the back end in case we need it too.
Great call.
But the other semi is being played at the moment.
Correct. And thankfully, they're far ahead of us. So as soon as we get out of this semifinal, we'll be able to go straight into the final again. You love to see it. Again, appreciate everybody liking the stream and sharing it around. It's really going to help it get out there. Been an interesting tournament so far. I haven't even thought about Arena. I have just been grinding PB4. That Arena has been the last thing on my mind, but then you think about the state of the tournaments that we could have here. And what's most fun about going back to starting up Illuvium Inferno now that we're on testnet is we can see the progression of teams. You know what I mean? We're going to see probably within a month, everybody will have like maxed out teams. They might not have the perfect meta team, but they'll have like a good maxed out team. And each week we'll see people's teams get stronger and stronger and stronger.
Like really, this was actually the short week, because even for this week, they had about 4 days and some were early testers and things like that. And it is what it is, but we had about 4 days of people playing the game. But next week it'll be 11. So it'll actually be more than double what we already had. So it'll be a completely different environment when it comes to the Illuvium Inferno. We'll probably, I think, open up to 64 players and then kick in the stream at about round 2 or 3 is what I've got on my mind. What do you think, Jimbo?
Sorry, what did you say? I was reading chat.
But for next week, I think maybe 64 players and we kick in the stream at around round 2 or 3.
Hey, we'll talk about time, but yeah, 64 players is completely fine with me. I'm excited. If we get that many people joining in and having fun, I'd love to see it. And I think more people are going to be willing to actually play in the tournament, or at least I hope so, within a week, because they'll have more filled out decks. They might not be confident that they're going to win or anything, but they'll at least be able to compete at some kind of level. Let's relax with the passive aggressiveness in chat. Zajac said, I got bugs in late round for the last 2 matches. However, big respect to Mindia for the win. That was an epic BO3 pushing each other. Highlight was having Grant, the Prince of Illuvium, on stream. The Prince. How do you feel about that, Grant?
I just say again. What?
Don't worry
bugs
about
in late
it.
round for the last 2 matches. I'm bigger than Mindia for the win. That was an epic. Pushing each other. I was having Grant's a prince of the. I'm not the prince anymore. I was slayed.
The Prince has
He was
been
the dragon.
overthrown. True. Dragon.
All right. How did you build your team? How many people contributed to your team to actually get that many characters?
I don't know how he got the blade. I think the Blazer Knight he got, but our boots probably helped out a little bit. I think they shared around. I don't know how our boots' match went. I'm excited to participate in a tournament myself. Because that would be such a fun part of my series, like the hunt for Scoriox. When I eventually capture it, it's like now we use Scoriox at a tournament. That's another video.
Yeah, that is gonna be fun. I've always, it's not like a big thing for me to want to compete, but it would be really fun to play. Okay, it looked so. Just so everybody knows, Soda is currently trying to get into the game with Mindia.
Mindy had blue screen before, so he's on the return.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
It's a bit like that.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I guess it's a good time to shout out Ghost again. In case you guys missed it, we are drinking the orange creamsicle flavor. So it has Carnipure, creatine, energy, 0 sugar. So with that, we'll go ahead and get into the game.
I love the transition effect.
Yeah, I modeled that up in KeyShot. Well, I modeled it in Fusion and I rendered it out in KeyShot.
Advanced.
I also did
I got it.
all the video effects. I also did separately as well in After Effects. It was a big project building that one out. It's just too bad it's like such a big file that like half the time it doesn't work properly. My OBS is already like grinding hard on all this other shit.
Is there anything you can do about internet there? Like that's one thing I don't miss about Australia. Just instant gigabit internet, like everywhere you go here.
I don't know, man. We're trying to buy our own house right now, so I'm dealing with all that. Maybe the internet will be better in our new place. So. If it is, that'd be nice. Outside of that, I got no idea. Otherwise, Jimbo can host.
The dream.
I can give him all the stuff and he can host with his internet and we can go from there.
Yeah, that's probably what we will do, especially when we get the what's it called? Help me out here. The viewer.
Stream mode?
Yeah, because my internet's probably a lot better than the land down under.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter that much until we have spectator mode, to be honest.
That's what I meant to say. That's what I was looking for. Spectator mode.
The other cool thing in spectator mode, like if it's super long term, would be if instead of watching it on YouTube or something like that, you could like sub in to the live game. So like your commentary comes through the game or something like that. I don't know. Relays it through YouTube or something. Just some way for the players to have the games up. Like if I'm ever watching chess or something like that, I'll actually just go on to chess.com and watch the game live while the commentators are talking. So I have both up.
Well, I always felt like Apex Legends started going in that direction and then had a big missed opportunity because they have all the billboards and stuff that they have around the map where you can see who's the kill leader and things like that.
Right.
Imagine chucking up people's streams on that stuff. And you can like, while you're playing, there's like a giant screen in the sky that you can like, even in the overworld, you could probably pull it off.
Oh, that's sick, actually.
In Sancta Mesa.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Oh, for sure.
Or like a multiplayer watch party too, somewhere.
And I've seen other games do similar things. You can embed Twitch, like the top person in the category right now will just be there, right? Like besides getting it into the game and all the bandwidth and everything, I don't think it's that hard to implement. I mean, besides building the screen and making it fit in with the lore, obviously that's the hard part, but yeah.
I mean, at that stage, who really cares about the lore? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, true.
Shout out Glitch Yeti. That creamsicle ghost energy drink is so good. We got a legend in the chat. You're damn right about that.
Battle of the Warwicks would be epic. Yeah, bring it back. $1 million
I don't
challenge
understand
2.
where the where the interest in all this comes from. I'm at the point now where I just want to see like who the best player is when the game goes live in open beta. Which guild can actually win like the Leviathan championship?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who pours money into giving their
Mm.
players Leviathan ready Illuvials too. You could see a lot of big esports orgs, if Illuvium takes off, really like putting money into that and lending those Illuvials out to their players.
He's not
Like a
running
full
the
esports
Ramfire.
organization, pooling together heaps of resources to build the perfect team.
Oh, I
It's
can
like
see
you
that.
can, well, like okay, let's just say you have two of the most powerful characters in the game. Let's just, for example, let's just say it's Titano and Ramfire, right? One of them's level 40, and you've got another Ramfire that's like level 28. That's the second best. But because that organization just devoted all their time and energy into like leveling up that one character, but then they don't have a Titano that's like better than level 20, and the other person's got a level 50. How do you value that character? Like if an esports organization needs that character to win and you've dedicated your entire time to leveling up one character,
Yeah, it needs to
and
be
then selling it.
needs to be a collaboration of efforts for sure. You definitely need a cap on levels, like anything past level 50 doesn't get extra bonuses. But you make that high enough and it's still fine.
But like, do you in Leviathan? Because it gets normalized. Otherwise you just end up with everything capped.
No, but like,
You get what
you
I'm
normalize
saying?
it in Ascendant and you don't in Leviathan, but you still need a peak. Like, and if an Alluvial keeps leveling indefinitely, then what happens in 2 years when someone has a level 500 Ramfire?
You could, I don't know, you could drop it off like exponentially as you get like on a bell curve. You know, so there's never any like point where there's no point using that character anymore. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just an unknown. That was why it was exciting for me. Ascendant was always Aaron's thing. For me, I always wanted, like, that's what I would have been interested in, just because that's the crazy version.
Yeah, you just need a reason for people to do it. If the big tournaments and the tournaments have big prize pools, that's one thing.
Yes.
But I'd like to see Fight for ETH return as well, as a big component of that, because that's exciting to me as well. Is you can, like, even if it's tiny amounts, you can bet $5 against your opponent. You're both betting $5, and you're trying to compete with your best team to try and win their money, and that'd be pretty cool.
The logistics of doing it though, like gambling not being legal in Dubai, and I don't know. It was always a dream, but I don't know if it's feasible. Like, I honestly don't know if it's feasible.
There are options for the DAO, but they're not focused on that yet.
I'm just glad that no one's gonna make a website that you shouldn't go to so that you can like gamble. You know what I mean? That's definitely not gonna happen.
Just
Whether Illuvium allows it or not.
Jabrita's already got the domain. This Healy team, I'm going to call it a Healy team from Soda, is doing really, really well. He's got the Ebb, he's got the Twine, a bunch of nature Illuvials. Now he's got the Adore on the board, and he does have a Dorito on the deck. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, he just can't break through this front line. They just heal too much and they're just too tanky.
If Mindia had a Ram fight, this might even be a completely different game.
True.
Right now, I think
That
he's
is
hoping
true.
for good augments on that Ram feat.
Ebb tanking so hard.
Oh, the hyper.
That's
Crazy.
You can't break through that hyper.
No way.
The empath hyper provides healing efficiency to all their allies, I believe. And so the two water alluvials going hyper is actually boosting up the healing overall on everything. Just
Jeez.
Dude, I love that idea. Lord Farquaad in chat says they should do pink slips, but you bet your alluvials if you
oh yeah,
lose.
we should do that in Leviathan for sure.
Holy. That would be wild.
And maybe it's even random, like it could be a Ramfire up for grabs, but he's gonna forfeit this. He doesn't think he can win this match. Let's see if he's got another team in the back for afterward.
Interesting. That was only one game?
Yeah.
Okay. My brain starts turning off during these tournaments.
Looks like Sandbirdie has beaten Alexandre 2-1. Which guild was Sandbirdie from again?
Sandbirdie is Hype or Polem. No, he's representing Polemos here.
Yeah.
Perpetually fueled by ghosts now.
I don't think it's working.
Alluvial levels don't currently give any extra bonuses in the overworld or arena. I don't believe. So yeah.
God, the light's coming up here.
Yeah, the empath box.
Oh, apparently Mindia's having tech difficulties. And so it was some sort of weird crash that did it.
Damn, I feel bad for him. He's been having tech difficulties the whole tournament. Not to take anything away from Soda. Soda's been playing out of his mind and has an two out of this world teams.
Yeah, if one wasn't enough.
Yeah, I know, right, dude? All these hype legends just really putting that's another thing that just shows the power of blockchain. You can really build up one of your own. There's strength and monkey together strong, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not that hype's a bunch of monkeys, but
Captain John says there would be nothing funnier than watching Kieran lose his deck.
true.
Like pig slip.
Oh my gosh, the salt. Imagining me being the one beating him, the salt would be so good. That would taste amazing. I would love to just destroy Kieran and take his alluvials.
I remember the day one PB3 stream for the arena. Me and him were both streaming, and we just so happened to come up against each other and ranked, and I managed to win. And he was like swearing his head off the whole game. I heard
That's
from
how I
his
felt
chat.
when Grant beat me in ranked.
How about working on the game for 3 years and then losing to TSG in your first outing?
Oh gosh, yeah, you're never gonna hear the end of that for the rest of your life.
That took the wind out of my sail for a while, to say the least.
He doesn't even have a team now, Grant. You could crush him. Ask for a rematch.
True.
Finally got him working. So I tell you what, he had more hours on that beta than anyone else combined.
Okay, Mindia has agreed to go to game 2. He wasn't convinced he could go through to the late game in that round, and he's coming into game 2 of the series.
Okay, let's see what he's got.
Let's hope he doesn't crash again. I hope we have a good game.
Yeah.
I have no idea if this team is different. But
it looks the same.
he didn't play the Caradulox before, so let's see.
Looks the same, but I could definitely be wrong. Lost to Dan Birdie. So if he wins, I feel better. Sam Birdie's a great player. He's won an Illuvium Inferno in the past, I think.
Has Soda won an Illuvium Inferno before?
I think so. If not, he's come second.
He's
I've definitely paid him money before. I know that.
You got like a list of everyone's wallets now.
Oh, I have a list of every single payout I've ever done.
Going straight into Verdant. Very cool opener here. Verdant is very strong. Sadly, these Illuvials aren't that strong, but he does have the sword on the Ranger, so he does get the DPS from that.
And he's got the augment that burns, right? Burns around him. I think it does max health percentage.
No, that's not that one. That's not the aura. I don't know what that one is though.
Getting beat by a Warwick is tough. Yeah, it is. Especially, dude, because the Warwicks will rub it in your face.
How many times did I beat you again, Jim Marino? It was
I
a
don't
lot.
want to talk. No, it was not a lot. It was like 3 times, and you had been playing that build forever, and yes, dude, you wouldn't beat me now. That's all I'm saying.
I can't believe you lost a Grant. Even I destroyed
Okay.
Jim Marino though, to be fair.
We just like scroll up through my conversation with you. You'll know when the
Dude, he's like, it's
the
just like, oh, get
emojis.
shit on, like, whatever.
Oh, the Fire Illuvials. Not a bad matchup for the Verdant. They are both going to go Hyper. Rogue getting a whole lot more crit. Both the Rogues, sorry. They are going to take out the DPS. These Fire Illuvials should be able to take it out, even with a double Verdant healing like crazy. Oh my god. Oh, it is going to blind it. The Omega's going to come out, probably take out these Fire Illuvials, but a Ramfy just needs to cast.
No, he can't do it.
He casts.
I'm pretty sure that is the burn augment, because look, his
Oh.
health
No,
is going
it doesn't.
down.
Yeah. Did he miss?
Nah, he just can't crit that Omega yet. He doesn't have Phantom.
Gotcha.
And so it's not going to do enough damage. Oh, you hate to see it. Fun though.
Okay, puts in the Atlas here.
They are having some more technical difficulties. Mindia's fights aren't loading, so I think basically every round he's just quitting and opening again.
Oof.
Rough.
I'll see what they want to do.
Captain Blackjaw, all I hear is excuses. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I think Mindia feels bad for all the viewers too, but it's all right. It's a pre-launch build. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, what can you do? I mean, things like these are expected. It's a beta.
My live
And
stream,
it's the first time we've ever had anything on chain. We're gonna have issues.
my Twitter account says 1200.
Dang. It said 5,000 last time I checked.
What are you looking at?
Illuvium shared it. It's at 6,000 on their share.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Love to see it.
Shout out Illuvium. Again, while we are waiting, make sure you go ahead and like the stream. Make sure you subscribe to Scoriax and share the stream around. If you're on X, make sure you repost. If you're on YouTube, make sure you share it, send it to your mom, dad, and we are back into the game. And it is a family event.
Get some positivity in the community again. Like massive beta release.
Yeah, and
it's looking good.
Exactly. It's a great game
It's not perfect.
too. No,
It's not perfect, but I mean, if you can see what progress has been made since the last beta, and you visualize where things will be at in 6 months to 12 months, like, how can you not see it succeeding?
His ranger just appeared. Funny.
So what are they doing here? They're just literally starting the entire round again.
Yeah, possibly. Mindia posted a comment in chat that said, "It's rough. Sorry for the show. Seems not stable." It's all good. We're doing what we can, and we're all just having fun anyways. We're mostly just memeing up here, right? So as long as we're having a good time, that's the only thing that matters.
Except for the energy drinks, that we're dead serious.
Yeah, those are. I'm not joking.
Like.
By the way, I appreciate all the comments in chat about energy drinks. Last time I asked about it. If there are any new viewers, what are your favorite energy drinks?
My God. Oh. I love this triple fire opener. Oh wait, I thought there was one extra alluvial because of the kangaroo.
Yeah.
God, those things are going hyper though. God damn.
Wait, why is everyone negging? What is negging?
Negging is like a negative compliment. Or a negative?
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's some joke. It's like from the 2000s. I wouldn't pay much mind to it.
You live on the internet. How do you not know what negging is? That in itself is a neg.
So, insult or undermine someone in the belief that diminished self-confidence will make them more... Whoa, okay. I'm not reading the rest of that.
Yeah, that's why we didn't say anything.
How does that... What does that have to do with anything we were talking about?
I don't know.
I'm so confused. I love that comment, though. Thank you.
I told you not to worry about it.
My bad.
Trust me, Jimbo. Look it up after.
Captain Blackjohn says, it seems like things have been getting better exponentially faster. Yeah, actually, in one of my videos earlier, I was saying, like, they're really dialed in right now. You know what I mean? Like, and the foundations are built. Like, the foundations are literally built.
Yeah.
I didn't even think an arena patch was going to happen with the launch of PB4. I'm really glad it did, but I did not expect that.
I didn't either. I thought it was just going to be Overworld. So that there you go. That just goes to show you.
Like I said before, that increase in update speed was always planned by Aaron. You know, he's been saying that from the very start. Things do get faster as you go. And artistically, I think the game's there. So in terms of just gameplay features and stuff like that, the teams always listen to the community. Like the team, when I was on the team, would listen to the Discord rants, some of the super negative people, the YouTube comments. Like the team is always engaged with the community and followed along with stuff. And that's why Illuvium is better than it would have been had we been developing this game in secret. Because originally the Overworld was meant to be just like a straight pack opening, and it wasn't meant to have combat and all that other stuff. And that would have been a massive mistake. But because the community, like a year and a half ago, was so heavily involved in wanting it to be better, it did take more time. But ultimately now we're at this period where like each beta gets a little bit closer to the game being really sticky, and that pivotal moment where like mainstream YouTubers and gamers see it and don't judge it as a crypto game. Yeah, and I think we're getting really close to that. It's not there yet, but with how much improvement has happened since the last one, like it's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's just when. So
Oh yeah. I actually used to say I didn't think like Illuviums in the Overworld even needed to be a thing, but after playing it, seeing how much it's changed and how much more fast-paced the Overworld is, and just how much more interesting actually just going through and mining stuff and catching the Illuvials, instead of like walking up to a rock, Mozart has to mine it, it takes forever, then you go to the next rock, it takes forever. Now you just shoot a rock, you find an Illuvial, you chase it down, you shoot it, go into the battle, you have a little bit of a dip, and then you come back out and it's back to the action. It's just a much more better pace in the game, which really does make a difference.
And it's still not even close to being done.
Yep.
Even when the game launches an open beta, that's still not like the teams never had this mindset of, all right, that's done, never go to that feature ever again.
Oof.
Yep. Oof.
Everything,
Yeah,
everything has always adapted. So that's why when you play the open beta, you need to be up that mindset. Okay, if it's not perfect, then what can I do to make the game better, and that's just to be engaged in the community and just be positively critical. You know, you don't need to be a hater to make the team aware of stuff to fix and improve.
And by the way, for those of you in chat that like to like give criticism, if you are acting like that hater, it's just going to make things worse. No one's going to listen to you. So just be constructive when you can say I don't like this or this, but just be constructive when you give your criticism and be respectful. I know that's not going to do anything, but I might as well try.
I mean, certain people are just very, very emotional about it. And you can't be like that with game dev, you know, because like you're not making a game based on emotions. You're making it based on if it's like technically feasible and if a large amount of people seem to like it or dislike it. That's it. It's not just like you wake up and have a bad day and then you just completely change the game or a feature because you lost one round or something like that.
He's got...
Like, it takes...
Just quickly, he's got 10 seconds to do his full pivot. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. The grit resolve is going to help, but damn, Soda's in a tricky spot.
You just have triple behemoth, but I agree. I don't think it's going to be quite enough, especially with the extra Illuvials Mindia's about to throw in there.
The 7 fire is so aggressive. Look at the damage on that Jotun.
No chance.
Yep. Mindia plays like a Chad. This is high testosterone gameplay we're witnessing here.
Destroyed.
Hyper aggressive. I expect that to become a meta very quickly. Now people are going to go out and grab as many fire Illuvials as they can to just shred with 7 or 9 fire.
Who was he losing to against? Was it
this
Caveman?
No, him.
No, in an earlier game.
Yeah, it was the same series. Now they 1-1. He was running a... I don't know if it was...
I mean, like when I first jumped on...
Oh.
When I first jumped on the stream. Was it LeJacques?
Zedge, yeah.
In the first game?
Yeah, with the Blazing Knight.
The fire lost to it.
He lost. He lost the 9 fire.
Yeah, the 9 fire lost to the Blazing Knight Wildfire comp. But the fighters beat it. And it looks like the fighters lost to this comp, but the fire seemed to beat it pretty confidently. But I think the speed was a big factor. I would have expected Soda to ramp up really quickly and actually outscale him hard, but Mini just didn't give him the chance. Looks like he's going again with the same comp, I think. And I suspect Mindy has probably brought in Ramfire. Looks like he's bringing in the Inferno. Let's see how this matches up. I don't know how Inferno is going to go against a hard fire.
Can you name off all the haters just so we have an idea of who not to be?
Crystal, Gimberino.
I'm the biggest hater. That's such a good comment. Thank you. That was a good laugh. Fire Rush. True. The Fire Rush cannot be stopped. Never underestimate Mindia. True. I genuinely think he's one of the best players in the game. That will chase away most of the player base. The game is good. Just hope the paywall isn't bonkers. Yes, I completely agree with you. Web2 gamers are not going to pay an arm and a leg to be playing Overworld. Now, for Dark Hollows and like perfect stat Illuvials, I think those should be crazy like priced, right? Because you don't have to be a millionaire to play Ascendant. But Leviathan, that's where the whales play. And also you have the 8-man player mode that you don't have to pay anything for.
Oh my god, even Scarabok's going down. Jesus Christ. To be fair, you can't let that thing go hyper or you're going to be in trouble.
Balancing the economy was always going to be extremely difficult.
It doesn't look like he has a Goliath.
Yeah, probably just trying to get the hyper.
He does get the resistances. That's going to really help against this team. The problem is, what does he equip it to? He's got to equip it to a bigger bulwark, doesn't he? but not one that's not going hyper. So he's got a lot of decisions to make for Soda. I think Soda's in with a shot, but it's going to be a struggle. He's going hard Earth, knowing that the Earth hyper is going to give him a big edge.
I think that's a good play.
Doesn't look like he
doesn't
has
have
any
a lot
Earth
of
weapons.
Earth, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have much Earth to go off of, though. But maybe he's just trying to withstand the, because it is very early game, super aggressive. Maybe he's just trying to get into that late game so he can scale up.
$1,000 for the winner outright, or split between the top three?
It's split. It's 7, 2, and then 1. 700,
Gotcha.
200, yeah. Normally we do just first and second for a small tournament, but since it's guilds, I thought we'd do 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the damage. They're still taking out Scarabok. The big stuns getting Scarabok the heals. It's going to outlast easily now.
Look, they're all hyper. They're going crazy. They're barely doing any damage. And then you got the stuns coming in. Yeah, great plays by Soda here.
To be fair, I think Fire has the legs to destroy a few Illuvials before they go hyper. And maybe even it out a little bit. So I don't think it's over yet. But the Earth is going to be impactful. If Mindia can place some Illuvials that will nullify some of the hyper, for example, a Slappin might have done really well, being a big rogue water, then that would help. But I don't know what else he's going to be able to do.
He said we need to push a spectator mode in governance. While I do think spectator mode is important, maybe but I mean, if the DAO wants it, the DAO wants it. But I think we should really just focus on open beta right now. But
I could see the value pushing an IIP that says no Team Liquid tournament until there's spectator mode. I don't know if you could take it further than that.
Well, there might also be legal obligations there.
Yeah.
It's only a quality of life improvement. It doesn't make or break the game for players. It's just purely spectating. So it's do you want to take the team off of doing game related stuff that affects the players, or just purely spectators? I think it needs to come ASAP, but not before the game is running well.
I agree.
Yeah,
high priority, but not one.
The other thing is a lot of the bugs and things like that. Spectator mode doesn't really help that much if people are crashing out mid-game. You know what I mean?
It doesn't help that much if there's not enough of a player base to even care about watching it anyway. The people who have been watching these streams have always been the diehard fans. So you take that bias away. Your average person isn't seeing Illuvium and going, why is there not a spectator mode yet?
Ooh. Yet. He gets the Water Grocko on the board, which is going to help diminish a lot of that hyper gain for the Earth Illuvials. A lot more than I expected. Yeah, Rake has come out as well, which is going to diminish the hyper gain.
Oh, that was a great play by him.
Massive back and forth.
You see, they went hyper. Even the Water Illuvials from Mindia have gone hyper.
Crushing.
Let's see if TikTok can take it. Nope.
What he really needs to put in a heady on the back of the field on Soda's side of the team. But we've got a crazy series in our hands here. 1-1. And see, something you guys might not have noticed yet. Mindia this entire tournament has run a really cheap deck. Okay? Now, what is Ebb? A T4? Geyser is a T4 stage 3. Mindia doesn't have a single T4 stage 3. He's got, I think, Umbre, maybe, but I don't even think he's used Umbre. He's just got the Dash and the Rake. So, Mindia is playing really well with really basic Illuvials. And Soda obviously has a deeper collection, but it's not making as much of a difference that you might expect. At least not in the early games. So we're seeing that every Illuvial has a place in this game, which is my favorite thing about Pokemon overall, and is one of the things I hope Illuvium continues to strive for.
So what you're saying is Soda is Giga Brain and Mindia is pay to win.
You've got it the other way around, but
The other way around.
They're both good at the game, but I'm just saying that it doesn't really matter which Illuvials you have. If you're good at the game, it will come through in the end.
Also, like certain cheap Illuvials will be good into certain expensive Illuvials just because of the way they match up.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
we're
also
seeing that
something
right
they
now.
can figure out.
We're seeing that right now is what I'm trying to point out.
Yeah.
Like, he counteracted the Hyper Earth with a tier 0 with the Grocko. And the Dash was a tier 4, but still, it's only one tier 4 that you need to capture, and you can find them in stage 3 runs pretty easily. Oh, the Moth is going to be completely miss the field there. Second Omega is going to be big, though.
Here. Yep. It might be too little too late, though.
Yeah. Although that was much better.
Close.
Wow.
It's close.
Wow.
Yep, he's going to take it.
Oh, that Grilla's going to do well.
No way.
The Moth is going to clean it.
No
And then
way.
Yeah. Oh no,
Oh,
this is actually going to be
shit.
so close.
Oh!
my God!
Wow.
Oh, man. And to be fair, it also wouldn't have been close for Soda if he didn't get stunned on that first Omega. He would have taken so much more burn damage, or Mindia would have taken so much more burn damage from the Omega on the Moth. Got a really clutch crowd control off the Omega on the Moth there for Mindia to even make it that close.
Crazy highlight on that round. Coming down to the last Illuvial. Oof.
Just back and forth, non-stop.
Yeah, as Doodle said in the chat, the new T1 Illuvials are quite strong. I think, namely the 3 fire Illuvials. Are they an Australian trio? Koala, Kangaroo, and Red Panda. No, not the Red Panda. I had to think about it for a sec. The Wildfire is going to come out. I don't know how this is going to work out, but the Inferno is a pretty big change here.
3 Inferno, 3 Phantom.
Oh, they did nerf both those synergies for that very reason.
From the last time I watched to now, the variance in just like round-to-round adjustments is so much more extreme.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I was watching, it was just like play the meta deck, mirror match, see who can move one character, 3 hexes to the right to get the balance and see what happens. This is completely different. Like, look how many characters have come off.
Chat just popped off after that last hit.
Oh.
Does the
Just
Moth shoot
crushing.
through all the enemies? That's crazy.
Oh.
That late game is strong. It's so strong.
And then there's a Phantom.
Phantom. Doesn't try and take it though.
I
think
think
he-
he's just happy with whatever he
If
gets.
he gets any of
He knows
these, he's
not
doing
gonna
well.
get it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
knew he wasn't going to get it.
This was a lucky augment phase for him.
That was the way to play it.
Grant, someone in here said the VFX artist needs a raise. Do you have anything to say on that?
I mean, they're the best in the world, so like,
Grant did say that was his most proud. The most proud thing he's ever done with Illuvium is coming up with such a great team.
literally, because it didn't matter if I spent my whole life doing art. If you get 100 people doing it, they'll do 100 times more work than you can. So
Hmm.
That, like, yeah, I don't sit here and feel like taking credit for the art in the game. I feel like taking credit for building the art team, or a part of it, a large part of it. Roger has played a huge part as well.
Mm.
I didn't hire everyone on the team. I just, the people I did hire, I really put my heart and soul into making sure they were really, really good. There were at the very in the first weeks of the project, when we got the 5 million raise, for me and Kieran at the time, that was like wild, crazy money, like the type of money that you could go do whatever you wanted with for us. And so having that initial raise money to just go out and hire people, I felt like I had like a cheat code enabled. And so we just sat there for weeks and weeks, every single day, blasting out messages to thousands of people on ArtStation and LinkedIn and Google image searching for artists. Like, we used every technique possible to find artists. And it was pre-crypto having the bad stigma attached. So when you reached out to artists, they didn't say literally, F you and like you're a scammer and stuff like that, which happened a year and a half later.
Ooh, and that's going to be game.
Wow. Sorry to talk over the battle.
No, that's all good.
You're good. That's why you're here.
It was a good battle. Ramfire almost went down, but he just needs more Illuvials in his team. Really great early game, but he just needs to be able to ascend those Illuvials. And unfortunately, the Ramfire and Moth are just such a great team. I do expect them to see a nerf at some point, probably. I still think Inferno's too strong, but it is what it is. It was a good game to watch. Went 2-1. Yeah, great game overall. So I'm looking forward to the grand final.
Yep, great play from both players. You love to see it, and we knew going into that match that it was going to be a high-level game. So the winner moving on and will face Sandbirdie, who also had a 2-1 in their previous series. So Sandbirdie in the finals, and we will see that finals in just a second.
Didn't really team build. I put all the Illuvials I caught in the deck. Classic.
I mean, makes sense. You got to do what you got to do. Limited Illuvials.
Next week, Mindia will come in hard. That's for sure. He just did 10 Crimson Race runs. He just put all the fire types.
Does anyone have like the best weapons though? Because they were difficult to try and build up. Like 8 legendary weapon components or ultra rare weapon components is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how strong the water gauntlet is. It's not nearly as strong as it was, but it's still pretty good. So someone getting that might actually be worth. I'm sure people in chat will tell me if I'm an idiot or not for that here pretty soon. I don't know if you want to answer that or not. I'm not sure what he's getting at.
Yeah, and like, no, I'm not on the team, but I mean, my passion. I mean, you tell me if it sucked out. If I've been playing the game for 8 hours a day for the last 4 days straight. So
I don't know what the marketing team has to do with that, but
the game hasn't even had a chance to be marketed yet. Realistically, there's no game you can compare this to, like in terms of AAA in the Web 2 space, because they don't build games openly for the community unless, like, not AAA games. You get games that are in early access on Steam and things like that, but not from massive studios. They're typically indie studios that need that funding to get over the line, whereas Illuvium has built it openly from the very, very start and shared the entire development process. So that's what makes it a little bit differently, But in terms of like my passion being out of the project, absolutely not. I still absolutely love it. Like, I gave my reasons for why I left, and I think having people work on the blockchain element over the art is a way, way better thing for the project long term. Now we need everything hooked up. If the game gets hooked up to the blockchain, at a faster rate, then everyone's loving it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the project just needs to do what it needs to do, and it will evolve over time, and that's just a part of any business. I think everyone still definitely hopes you come back at some point, but right now we just get the game out, focus on future games. If we have enough revenues, we'd hire back everyone. I'd love to see Chris come back, you, Andrew, you name it.
How far off are we from this final game?
Should be close. They've sent the code.
Yeah, they should be starting really soon. Soda versus Sand Birdie.
Here we go.
My body's ready.
He hasn't even stacked out the entire team, yeah? That's not...
How did he win all these games?
Like it.
He beat some tough opponents.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, he's got the double berserker. That's pretty strong. He's got double berserker. He's got double toxic. He's got the verdant and the colossus. Strong.
You can add 50 Illuvials, yeah? 50.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have all of them, there's nothing he could do.
I know. I'm just saying, like this.
I see.
This was always going to be kind of how this tournament shaped up.
Yeah, it gets to the final though.
Yeah, it's like it's the mud comp without the mud because he doesn't have anything. So it's like kind of a meta deck, but again, you don't have all of the Illuvials. What are you supposed to do? This is the beauty of the testnet is finally having things on chain.
Go on the marketplace and buy them for 78,000 fake ETH. You know what I thought would have been hilarious? Like, so I saw a few of those Illuvials listed for just like astronomical prices, like 55, 60, 100,000. But imagine if someone had been acquiring fake ETH for like a year and a half, 2 years, and had like 1 million fake ETH, and just came and like you listed it jokingly, thinking that no one's ever going to buy it, and then just wake up and all your Illuvials have just been rugged from you on the marketplace for like $5 million.
Oh, is that rugged though? You've got like 1 million fake ETH now. You can buy everything else with.
Yeah, I guess so. But nothing would be listed, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing would be listed.
3 fighter opener. Ranger is gonna go down, reducing some of the damage to Soda. As we've seen before, it's clear that the early game is where Soda is weakest with some of his best Illuvials. And so Sandbirdie really needs to take him down quick.
Is the final game best of 3 still?
It is best of 5, but yeah, it's up to the players, I suppose. They want to be best of 3, but there we go. I added 2 more dots.
Are you getting tired, Grant?
I mean, it's only 6:30 a.m.
Oh, you're good. You're good for another 3 or 4 hours.
You know, you jumped on at like 3 a.m. My God.
I was only planning on jumping on for like 20 minutes too.
Well, you got to finish it up now.
Have you all got YouTube channels? Yes, I have. This is me. And then make sure you subscribe and like on Scoriax's channel.
And don't forget to follow ThrillTech on Twitter as well. ThrillTech is...
Yeah, true. Especially for those 5 subs. Give them all the follows. Okay. I really like Sandbirdie's team. This is one of my favorite play styles.
Crushing. It's close. It's very close. Who takes it? Sandberg. Although, ooh,
Let's see if the tank can take him out.
wow, wow.
Yeah, but the overtime.
Yeah, still though, very close.
Okay, the Vampiric would be really good on Sandbirdie's team, I feel. Perpetual Entropy. Evasive. There's a couple good for him. There you go, and he gets it. Now, I'm not sure if they updated Rip Lance or Riptorus, but putting that on the Exalted Monkey Air felt really good in PB3 and PB2. What about Big Grant? Grant, do you have a YouTube channel? Are you going to start vlogging?
I put his Twitch in the chat.
I'll post my Twitch. Oh, you've already posted it.
Yep.
Okay, cheers. Yeah, I'll start streaming the game like properly streaming it once open beta comes out.
Nice.
I liked watching your stream. Your stream was fun.
I mean, I didn't stream with the intent of anyone watching. I just thought if I'm going to do it, I'll do it. But open beta, I'll put some effort into it. Because I'm pretty sure Kieran and I both said that we were going to try and catch all the Illuvials without buying any. Like, without buying Illuvials. Maybe I'll buy gear or something like that. But the plan was to do at least one run, catching everything. Just like real Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
He gets the Slayer augment, so he's going to have double Slayer this next round with the Chupacabra.
Oh, damn. What did Sandbirdie give up for that?
The Vampiric.
Oh, okay. The monkey is coming out. Things attacking a bit slower than I would have thought. Here we go.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I still think the team-wide health bars would be great.
I'm sure that'll happen at some point.
I got met with a lot of like, you're an idiot for that.
Really?
Yeah, it was not well received.
Ooh, the blind and charms big.
The hardest part about a
Vampiric.
No.
Vampiric.
Oof.
Not enough.
Just so much lifesteal.
How does he combat this?
He's got to try and find a way to kill that monkey ear, but I don't see a way he's going to be able to do that, especially with the way he has his Komodo bulwark set up in the back.
You can get to 5 air.
That would help against auto attackers.
With Wink. Or Gazotep.
The problem is he doesn't have any of this next stages for the mammoths either.
Yeah. That's the issue with just having such a small deck size.
It's not about the size of the deck, it's how you use it.
I just knew you were going to say that.
I mean, thanks for setting me up. It's an alley-oop right there.
I did not see it coming.
I mean, as I said it, then I realized I didn't pre-tee it up for you.
Oof. Where are these shields coming from? It looks like he's got the Revenant up.
That is gross.
Oh, he's got 3 Revenant. Oh,
huge.
That's so savage.
That's how he does it. Destruction. It's just instantly caught up.
Yeah, that's going to completely counter the auto attackers on Sandbirdie's side.
Is it still possible to win in 2 rounds after the 3rd round?
Probably, but you have to win pretty hard.
Like,
what does Sandbirdie do here? He needs to redirect the Revenant users. Currently, he's got his smaller Illuvials at the back, taking the Revenant. But really, you need Illuvials that are not going to die quickly so that he doesn't get the Revenant shield.
Yeah.
do you remember the meme deck I used against you, Jimberino, in like our second game, the healing one, where you couldn't take it down after 3 losses, and then they would never lose any HP, and you would lose in 2 rounds every time.
That's one of my least favorite ways to lose is from
Overtime.
healing and shields. That shit will make me want to, like, I don't even, it's not safe for YouTube for me to say what it would make me do, but I cannot stand it. Shields in any game.
YouTube is just heavily anti-swearing now. Yeah, they implemented a policy where it just demonetizes you nearly instantly.
Yeah. And if you put like something in the beginning of a video where you're cussing, like the algorithm does not like that either.
Rough. There goes my YouTube career.
Go, Monkia.
Wow. Rushing.
Oh.
Rushing.
Lights Chosen would be so good for him, but he's, I mean,
He needs it.
Soda's gonna deny it for sure, right?
Oh. I still think he needs to reorganize his board. He can't be putting the Atlas and the Hedy at the back. He needs the Caradulox at the back, and he needs his fighters at the front. He's got them in the wrong order right now. You need to keep the Revenant separated from the rest of the team for as long as possible.
That is also what I would do. But I also lost to Grant Warwick, so I'm also not the best.
Multiple times.
It was like twice. Once or twice.
It's a bigger number than 1. He's got the big...
Wait, he does have the... I'm thinking of somebody else. He does have the stage 3 mammoth then.
Yeah. That's a powerful character.
I heard it's bugged. Let's see if it works properly.
It's the best looking character in the game by far. I love that thing.
It's crazy.
I want to see him
it
pick
in.
someone up. I haven't seen it still.
The auto attacks look so sick too.
Here he goes.
Oh, it looks so
Look, a
weird.
kangaroo.
Later, bitch.
Kangaroo.
Oh, there goes the
Wow.
Kangaroo. Gnarl and the Verdant coming in clutch here.
Ooh, he's fighting back.
Lulling him into a false sense of security.
No way. This is gonna sting.
Oh,
Ooh.
another one like that, and you might actually be able to take home game 1 of the series.
Blows my mind these Chads have already captured all those Illuvials. I'm still with my few tier ones that hit like wet noodles. Don't feel too bad. This is a guild tournament, so all the guilds put their Illuvials together so that their players could perform at the best they could. It's not like Soda went out and caught all of these himself. Though I do think Sandbirdie may have caught all of his himself. I could be wrong on that.
Getting that Caradulox and that Gnarl is going to be tricky. I did find a Twine the other day. It was in a stage 3 run though, so I didn't have the strength to beat it, but that was pretty cool. And I was like prepping for a video and I couldn't use up any of my energy.
Oof.
Oh, he's got a bigger front line now. The Geyser's going to slow him down. But the foe might go hyper off the major the major water and earth presence now. The problem is that Octius, if that takes down foe, is in trouble. Personally think foe's too far up front, but... Or if he takes down the Berserkers, he is going to win this game. Let's hope Sandbirdie saw it coming and finally moved the Berserkers up front. Oh, he did swap it out.
Wow.
He's put the Berserkers up front, put all the tanks out the back. Karadulok's doing surprising work surviving. Arcalion going to heal it up. It's going to be no problem at all.
Disgusting. It's a slaughter. That one change.
See that? Those Revenants are not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything against the big boys.
Did he take?
Was he lulling him into a false sense of security?
Great plays. Great plays. Yeah, I felt it in my soul that he was going to move those back there.
They can swap their team out mid-round, yeah? If they wanted to.
Yeah, if they have the like mastery points, they can take them, swap them out. But
Yeah, it's
again, the issue.
No, I
is,
mean, sorry, the deck.
attention
The
tokens.
deck.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
They can do whatever they
swap.
want. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, since it's all on chain, they've only had
Yeah.
3 days. Do they even have another deck?
Yeah.
We know Soda does. I don't think. I don't think Sandbirdie does. I don't know how Sandbirdie would go against the Inferno. Thankfully, he has a mixture of water and nature, rather than just nature. But it would be a tough match. I wouldn't be shocked if we see Soda bring it out here.
Yep. Sandbirdie, just really good positioning with those Berserkers. Fun to see too. Back in 4th game, I wasn't expecting that. But I guess I don't think Soda... Well, he did... I was going to say, I don't think Soda had the Illuvials to scale up, but I think it was just a deck diff.
I think in the long term, it won't be ready for open beta, but having the deck builder and the marketplace embedded into the game itself will just be so massive.
Yeah, now that you have passport, possible.
It's going to feel just like everything's connected a lot better.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really not a big deal to go over to a website and stuff, but for it kind of the immersion added when you have it all in game.
Well, one of my favorite things in Guild Wars 2 was going to the Grand Exchange and trying to trade all the different assets and things like that. And I think part of that experience was running into this room where you can see that there's 1,000 other people doing exactly what you're doing. Yeah. And that was just kind of a cool part of the overall experience for that.
I agree 100%. That was like that in MMOs, that feeling is just feels really good. So much more immersive. It like puts a face to the other people that you're buying and selling with.
Especially seeing if you've got a tournament and you can see what the player is doing with their team builder live, you know, making the adjustments. If you enable that as an option.
That would be next level of MMO immersion type stuff. I think I was listening to a video about modern MMOs and why they're not very successful, and they were talking about how if someone just creates solo leveling or whatever that other game was, that other anime was, then people would love it. And really, those are some of those big features, is that you could see what the other person's doing 100% of the time, and it feels like you're living in this world. You're not going to other websites, you're not going to other menus, or if you are, other people can see it. And that's like next level MMO. People would love that. He has no synergies for Sandbirdie right now. Not going to matter. If you guys have actually looked at the numbers on the Poodle Moth, it's very small. Like the damage it does is actually tiny. I think it really needs a mega power to do good damage and or a really good line of sight. I think it starts off as a Scion, so if it hits Hyper, it'll get a ton of Omega power.
I think it's also really because it's like an AoE. It's really important to have. It gets stronger when there's more Illuvials on the board, so its Omega can hit more targets.
Also, not to mention, when it gets the Phantom synergy, obviously that means its Omegas can now crit, which would have a pretty good impact.
Now, does the whole Omega crit, or does each tick of the burn crit have a chance at critting? Does that make sense? I agree.
Monarch just looks so sick as a character.
Oh, he looks great in game.
Beautiful. I love how each stage looks different, but like the same at the same time. It's like a Charizard. Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard all look different, but they all have the same style.
They have the same facial features, you know? It doesn't take much.
Well, early on, one of the big critiques of TFT was that it was very difficult to see the difference between the characters if you weren't like heavily invested in the game, because they're all humanoid. So, you know, with Illuvium, we wanted it to be recognizable instantly, even with low spec, like low graphics, low bit rate on streaming. And I think we've achieved that. Like, I'm viewing this stream here in like potato quality, and I can still see what each character is.
Oof.
Those fighters are just tearing through them.
Somebody knows he needs to do as much damage as possible early on. Those middle rounds are a little bit of a struggle, but like he could have swapped his board last game at any point. I reckon he just did it when he could guarantee the kill as a last hurrah, and that shows just how good Sandbirdie is at this game.
And if you notice, Soda's not giving him that vampiric this time. It's funny.
Who did he put it on last time?
It was the monkey ear, and it was just healing nonstop with each hit it was doing.
Yeah.
I've had that
Dimitri
before.
says, Soda, all my life savings are bet on you. See how that works out.
No pressure.
Yeah,
how many Illuvials are there in total?
100. There's 150 Illuvials, then there's 25 Lynxes, and then there's 25 tier zeros. I think.
So 200.
There's 205, and we haven't seen the Leviathan yet.
Wow.
Or the legendary Illuvial, if that's different. I have no idea.
Who knows?
Maybe Grant can hint.
Yeah. I wonder if there's anybody with some inside knowledge that could answer it for us.
No, that doesn't exist. You are going to notice the monkey go hyper. Oh my god, that thing does damage.
Wow.
It's actually going to get a huge attack speed buff, which is crazy because with Berserker, every third attack, it permanently boosts attack speed. So if you're buffing its attack speed first and then getting that, it's going to ramp up like 3 times faster. You know, compound interest type stuff. And that Monkia is dangerous when it goes hyper. Soda's going to play around that if he wants to win this game.
Yep, that monkey ear is passive income.
It must be a lot harder to target specific characters now that the hex size is the same.
Style asks Grant, why do the Illuvials look different when captured than what they like in Arena? And I believe that the art hasn't gone in for the capture screen yet.
What do you mean by that? Exactly.
When when you capture an Illuvial in the overworld and it pops up with its stats and stuff, and it looks like it was taken out of like Doom from 2000.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason for that is because you have like passive levels in Unreal Engine that are like hot loaded in the user interface. So like the user interface, you've got the main level, the region loaded, and then when you go to the UI, it uses a different method for like calling that asset than the region, where it's like preloading. You know, when you go into a region and there's that loading screen,
that allows it to buffer all of the high quality settings and stuff like that. So in the user interface, unless it also loads, you're going to see the low quality preview. And that is something that when I left, it's noted, but it's just one of those things where it doesn't change the game. So like, why have a dev spend time fixing that when that same dev can be busy fixing stuff in the overworld that's critical? So all that little polishing, quality of life stuff will happen. But yeah, obviously for now, it's just not been worked on. So what you're seeing is the lowest LOD and the rendering settings in that preview not calibrated properly. The final in the game, we decided that all of the NFT artwork that we were doing, like you see the stuff Dimitri leaking, like those 3D renders in V-Ray that look amazing. Originally, it was Dimitri and I's intention to just have that in the game. When you go to the user interface, it just plays the video. But then people in the team, because we didn't have those videos, were like, we need a 3D preview of the assets. And then it's like, we had this crossroad where it's like, do we use the 3D render, which you can't rotate around and feel like it's a game asset, or the 3D asset that you can? And the end result was that you can choose between the two. So now in the user interface, you'll see at the top right, there's like a 3D, 2D button. And in, maybe not even for open beta, but eventually both of those previews will look good. So I wouldn't stress about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So this could be the final round of this battle. The heals are coming out. Ramfire's doing well. Big bomb from the Moth, whose name I always forget. But he's got decent healing for Sandbirdie as well. This Ramfire's going to get one big cast, though. One cast too many, maybe.
Can he hold off?
And Monkey is going hard. Oh, leaving him in a 5.
Wow.
This will be a big legendary augment phase, as Soda is now scaling extra hard. Impact Dampener is huge because that is a hard counter to Ramfire. Adding you back, Jimbo.
What does he do to turn it around?
What's crazy is
demolished.
What's crazy is Sandbirdie is full health.
But if he loses a round now,
he'll be fine. I think it'll take at least 2 wins, probably 3, to be able to take down Sandbirdie. He does get Colossus up, which is really gonna help. He needs to slow down the Monkey more, but it has it's good augments and it's at the front. It's just too hard to get to. Because that Monkey right now can 1v1 Ramfire quite confidently. And it's eventually getting to the Moth and taking it out. So it's a threat.
Why is the Chuko's hex size smaller?
Because the stage 3 is just small in general. It's based on whatever the stage 3 is.
Okay, gotcha.
So you'll see that Archie's hex size is massive because Arcalion's so fat.
Yeah. My bad.
That's all good. Oh, that Monkey is literally doing everything. He's just working his way through the board. He does not care.
Just crushing.
One Illuvial at a time. That Monkey will take them down. That is the first time we're going to see the Ramfire comp properly go down. I think the other time it was close, but I think it still came out on top. The Ramfire got stalled out by Gnarl forever from the Verdant.
What would you do?
Definitely winnable by Soda, but he was playing from behind. To offset Monkier, you've got to have something that kills it early. Plus, the other thing is Monkier is Earth, and so it's getting Hyper way too easily from the hard Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got to be careful around that in particular, because the thing was, even though there were nature Illuvials at the front, that was the first thing Nut Monkey was killing. So when they all die, then it's getting hyper like that, because the only thing remaining is like the Ramfire and the Moth and all the rest of it. Looks like we're going straight into game 3.
Well, even the natures are giving it hyper as well.
Oh yeah, right. Earth beats nature. Yeah, so he really is not really built to handle a Monkia that's kitted out. The other thing is maybe he got really lucky with those augments too. If he doesn't get as lucky, the Monkey won't do as much. It definitely dies to like one Ramfire Mega, so positioning plays a key role here.
I think we may see a guild change from Soda after this.
Sandbirdie's also in hype. So
Yeah, that's
so
why.
this is a little bit of a
why.
hype matchup. No,
That's why.
Soda's
Like, why
representing hype, and Sandbirdie's representing Polemos.
Right. Sorry, I thought you meant both were representing hype.
Yeah, well, they kind of are, because Sandbirdie's in both. A lot of people are in hype and elsewhere. But hype is the biggest guild by sheer arena players. Oof.
Straight in with the monkey. Does he lose it? No, he doesn't. Although
It's gonna be close.
so close, but it's just
Yeah.
not enough. Not enough.
Oh,
my
again,
God.
one auto.
Monkey MVP. You're gonna have to make a video about that, Jim Bruno. Maybe make an AI song and
Another one.
yeah. Oh.
Moon Brenda says, "Wow, good match." I agree.
Dwayne says it goes to show it's not the size of the team, but how you use it.
There we go.
Or as Grant would call it, it's not the size of the deck, but how you use it. 1,000 messages today in Restream chat. Congratulations. Our biggest chat ever in any YouTube live stream I've ever done.
And we know why. Ghost orange creamsicle.
Yeah.
Damn right.
We have one comment on the Twitter live, and it's just like regarding the energy drink.
Wait, is it really? Hold on. I gotta reply.
Like you've got a little Atlas holding like an orange ghost energy drink. You're sipping it and winking it at you.
Soda's matching the Berserker with another Berserker.
Can Apon take out Monkey? No, he can't. No, he can't. Just wiped clean.
Oh, he's died even faster this time. Soda!
Do we think Soda has a chance to come back and win?
Oh, for
somehow
sure.
And get the reverse
The
sweep?
augments. It's going to come down to the augments.
He
'Cause he
does
doesn't have
deny
enough
the lights
characters.
chosen. That's going to be big.
I think positioning's still powerful here. But Soda's trying a complete different team. He's got as good a chance as any.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even notice that. He's playing like a very similar comp.
He does have better heals though. He's got the Adorius in this team. And he's got he's still getting crushed by Earth to Hyper. And Hyper's one of my favorite parts about the arena. So I'm glad that it's like so relevant now that it's like you've got to have a few different types in your team to beat this thing. Like I always love that in Pokemon you can't just run 6 Charizards, right? Any water Pokemon just destroys you. And I love that here. But what do you need to beat Earth? You need water or air, right?
Okay, I think Soda's comp is better than Sambirdie's. It's the same thing except Soda has the full mud.
The monkey only goes mud at Exalted, yeah?
Yep.
Yes. Which is good because Earth is a great synergy.
Yeah.
What did he just give his monkey at? Does anyone know?
Feudal Resolution, I think it's called, or something.
What does it do?
I don't know. I think it has. I thought it had to do with dodge chance, but a lot of these augments have the same name, and same look, but they do something completely different. So I lost track.
Yeah, they changed it up a little bit in this patch, so some of the stuff has changed.
He's doing better.
Oh, the heals!
The heal. It's going to come down to the monkey again. The heals are too much.
Is it just me, or was his monkey
It's
attacking from 50 spaces back?
Yeah, it's the toxic heals.
And he's still another round off augments.
Immunity Veil? What? Piercing? Gonna take the piercing. Huge for a monkier. I'd like to see him go to Exalted here. But he doesn't have many. He only has 2 Ascension tokens left. It's actually his same team as before. It's just a different strategy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's still got the Phantom in. I think it's the same.
I mean, you might be right. I mean, you can have 50 Illuvials in a deck now, right? So
he's chosen to go Bigger Dorius instead of Exalted Monkier. Looks like he could probably survive the round either way. Let's see if that pays off.
Am I wrong in assuming that Gorilla is the worst character in the game now?
I love Gorilla. He's great. Why?
No, I'm just...
Is
Because
that
I
a
can't do
co-founder
anything
joke?
about it anymore.
Yeah. No, Gorilla's the best one of the 3. He just doesn't work.
Oh, he got stunned. The heal didn't pop off, or Dorius. Oh, he was rooted or something. That's it.
Sambirdie's Monkier isn't attacking anyone.
wow.
That's the tournament.
How is he attacking from so far away?
Oh. Can you imagine Soda comes back 3 wins in a row from this point?
No way.
How crazy would that be, though?
That would be a crazy end of the tournament. Dorius is doing decent work. I still don't know if that was the right call. You can see that the Monkier cannot break through that Arcalion.
Because not only did he have to waste the Ascension tokens to gate the Dorius, he didn't have double Mystic either, right?
I don't think the Dorius popped off. I think it got rooted in the middle of casting his heal. So it was useless.
Another key difference is, even though he has it in his team, Soda hasn't actually played Toxic on the board. And Toxic is one of the reasons that Riptorus and in the pure damage overall is just lasting so long on the board for Sandbirdie.
Wait, he has Toxic.
No, right? He doesn't have the he has it in his team, but he hasn't played it on the board. I don't think he has Cardilox on the board right now, does he?
Yeah, it's in front of a Dorius.
Is it really?
I swear
I would be
He's
able
got
to say
3
that.
Toxic.
He's trying to protect his
he
Dorius,
does too.
but if it doesn't pop off, then what's the point?
Caveman says, man, y'all don't understand how close this was. Sambirdie literally got the experience needed 30 minutes before the tournament. This man was doing 6 battles every run and finished them in 10 minutes. Holy, he was grinding for this. Paid off.
The experience needed for like Exalted Monkier, maybe.
Go.
Oh, damn.
So Dorius gets his heal off way faster now.
Oof.
It's not doing
getting hyper too.
Here he
His
goes
passive
again.
was hitting the Riptorus. Then
Here he goes again. Huge.
This is how it feels when I run into a stage 3 run and enter a battle.
just
they
not
just
enough
overwhelm.
damage now.
Hmm.
Not enough damage now.
Oh, big heal. Not
That's
enough.
just Not enough. Not enough. That's it.
man,
Crushed.
dominating
That was like
performance
nine
from Samberg.
wins in a row or something. Crazy.
Oh, damn. We haven't seen something like that in ages. And Soda was the favorite. Oh, what a crazy game. I still think Soda had a chance all those games. A really close grand final. But you can see Sandbirdie really put so much thought into exactly which Illuvials he wanted to capture for the tournament. Whereas Soda was more so making up teams from what he already had. Even though they were great Illuvials, it's just Sandbirdie had a really specific strategy in mind and it panned out for him in this time. So you got to hand it to him. Sandbirdie taking the 3-0 in the grand final. Soda coming in with a solid second place, some great matches throughout the tournament. And our third place is actually Mindia coming in third against Alexandre. So absolutely crazy tournament today. I absolutely loved being back. Thank you so much for joining us too, Grant. How have you enjoyed the experience?
It was really fun. Maybe I'll join you guys on the next one. I gotta learn how the game works though. I don't really know how my commentary was. I was mostly just like shilling energy drinks the first 3 hours. So.
Well,
Yeah,
the other thing that many don't realize is the team actually added an AI opponent in the arena. You can jump in, use your own team, and play against an AI instead of a real player. To test out things or have a look at the augments, you can get a feel for the game without having to get crushed by Viper every game, which is great.
Yeah, it was a great game. Great game from
Amazing.
Samberdy, Soda. I think it was a 3-0, but I think it was a close 3-0. And good job to both competitors. Very fun tournament overall. It was cool to see like a different team comp every single game, just because again nobody has all the Illuvials they need, and I'm excited to just see how people's team comps progress and get better as the weeks go by.
I would be surprised if next week everyone who participated this week didn't have a maxed out team.
We'll see. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. And
Yeah. I think it will be fun. I don't know what to say.
what do you mean? In the stream?
End the stream now.
Huh?
We're ending it. Do you want to end it now?
All right, guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment if you're watching after the fact. Make sure you follow me, Scoriox, and Grant on Twitter. Make sure you follow ThrillTech for the 5 subscribers he gave Scoriox. And we will see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining us. It means the world, and Illuvium forever. We'll be seeing you guys later.
Also, chat really wants Grant to come back next week, so we'll see.